ice in the ocean.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
Hey, what up? How's it hanging?
I suppose we should get going.
Let's go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hi there, everyone. What's going on? It's Monday. Live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios, Dex and Steve-O. What's up?
Oh, just living the dream.
Yeah?
Yeah. The one where you wake up and you're in school and you don't have any clothes on, and you don't know how to get out of there, and you're crying and you're freaking out and you don't want anybody to see you, and you're like, can I just go back to bed?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually got up and took a shower this morning.
Nice.
I don't take showers, guys. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I took a shower. It's
That's
been
gross.
months.
It's really gross.
No, it's really good. Kidding. Now, I usually take showers at night, and for some reason, I got up this morning, and I said to myself, you should just take a shower. And so I did. And it felt glorious. It actually woke me up. I think I need to change that. Oh, anyways. Welcome to the show.
Heck yeah, man. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Ralph, Jarrett, Ryan, Cynthia. Good morning, all. On our YouTube channel. Our boy Matthew in St. Louis chiming in early this morning.
What's up? Yeah,
So
how was your
many
weekend?
ways. So many ways to be part of the show. Mine was just fantastic.
Yeah. That's good. Baseball fundraising, I hear.
Yeah.
That's cool. Just baseball at the Jeter house all the time.
Yeah. All year long.
Saw Luke practicing in the garage,
Yes.
hitting that ball.
Got the garage all cleaned out, set up a nice area for him so that he can hit off the tee every day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You're a good dad.
You're good. You're
Good father.
Thank you.
You guys can chime in. Phone lines are open at 505-338-3700, or you can text into the show. What's the live line number?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483. If you want to text in, be part of the show. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why?
You hold in your wallet
Yes.
something that is very valuable.
My driver's license?
Nope.
My Metro card for the subway.
Oh, I almost hit the wrong button.
Metro card.
No! Wrong button. No.
My movie pass.
Your movie pass. Your movie pass allows you to go and see one movie a day.
Ish.
How have you used it a lot since you got it? Because you've had it 6 months?
I've had it for since it launched at that cheap price point or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it a long time.
Well,
It's gone through many changes since I first signed up.
you have scissors around here?
Oh, no, what? No.
Any scissors?
No, get away from my movie pass.
I need to cut that up.
No,
I need
what?
to cut it in.
No, no.
I just saw this morning. Apparently, MoviePass doesn't have enough money to pay for your tickets anymore, Steve-O. Yep. They don't have the funds.
Saw that this weekend.
Company appears to have missed a payment to one of its fulfillment processors, and that company put a freeze on their fulfillments. Wow. Oof. Gosh. Yeah, you gotta keep up on those payments. Gotta pay your bills, MoviePass.
Yeah.
So just a heads up, if you try to use that MoviePass, it might not work.
What's unreal to me, and or maybe totally real, is the fact that, they ran out of money and had to borrow $5 million from a hedge fund. I was reading about it over the weekend going, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. When they first announced this, we were all going, "Wow, that's That's a really good deal. If you go to a lot of movies,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good deal.
If you go to more than one a month, it's already paying for it. And
Right.
so you're like, well, what's the catch? There's got to be a catch. And then slowly but surely, the catch started coming into play.
Oh.
Because for those who don't know, MoviePass, it's $10 or something like that. And you can go to a movie every day. And when I first got it, it was literally like, I'm gonna go see Star Wars 7 times.
Yeah.
And I'd go every day, and I'd just like check in on the app, and then I'd swipe the card, and it'd pay for the ticket, and I'm like, this is the best thing ever. And then
No.
slowly but surely it'd be like, it's one a day, and you can't see IMAX or 3D or any kind of special movie, no RPX, nothing like that. And I was like, oh,
Ugh.
okay. Well, you know what? It's still cheap. I'll still deal with that.
Yeah.
And then like they're like, also now you can't see the same movie twice. So once you see a movie, it becomes blacked out on the app, so you can't see that again.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'll still use it. And then it was like, hey, you can't see any kinds of these movies. You can only see one movie one time. And because we don't trust our customers, now you have to take a picture of your ticket stub so we know you saw a different movie. And then I was like, oh, got me, huh? And then
Oh no. More?
and then they just recently added, if you want to go to a movie after like 2 p.m. or something, they're like, you see, that's peak hours. And so we're going to charge you like $3 extra a ticket
Oh my god.
every time you want to. Yeah.
Movie Pass.
I knew it was going to be short-lived. I seriously knew it was going to be short-lived. Didn't realize just how short-lived.
Yeah, I guess it kind of seemed like a good idea because were people really going to see a movie once a month?
No, of course
Yeah.
not.
So
Yeah. Well, and then since they launched, there have been multiple movie theaters that have opened up their own.
Yeah.
Like I know AMC, they have their own card now
Mhm.
that's like double the price, but you can you skip the line when you go in or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
You don't even have to wait in line to get your ticket torn. You're like
that's cool.
a VIP or something weird like that, but
Wow.
it's just in specific theaters,
Okay,
so it's like
yeah.
all of a sudden everybody just started putting out their own version of it, and MoviePass, yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad, man.
Yeah.
It's too bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to cut that card
I
up.
couldn't believe it. There were, seriously, tons of people on Thursday went to go see Mission Impossible Fallout because it released that day, got to the movie theater, and their card was declined.
Oh, no. Gosh.
And they're going, no, this is my movie pass.
There's nothing more embarrassing than the swipe of the card and it not declined. What?
Yeah.
Try again.
They originally called it a service outage.
Oh, they lied.
Yeah. Yep.
They were behind.
Yeah. Yeah. Service outage. Oh, sorry guys. The app's currently down. And of course, now we do know that they ran out of money. The parent company had to borrow an emergency $5 million
Mm.
to get it back up and running. But yeah, there was a full service interruption on July 26th. So
Yeah.
if any of you out there have said pass,
That's too
now
bad,
is the
man.
time to, yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
It's funny. I signed up for one and never got a card.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. It's like I don't know if they just got so busy that they ended up skipping a lot of people. Because I never got one. And they're not billing me every month, which is good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I kicked off the show with bad news.
That's
but,
okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So the problem was when they first had it, it was like $100 a month, and it was stupid, and nobody could afford that.
Mhm.
Everybody thought nobody's going to use this, and then somebody else bought the company, and we're like, we're lowering it to $10 a month, and then they gained millions of new subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
Instantaneously, and have slowly but surely been bankrupt. They are going bankrupt.
Well.
So, yeah.
What happens? Try to do something good for people and,
Yeah.
just Kicks you in the face.
Which, by the way, it's not one movie a day anymore. It's 4 a month.
Oh, really?
4 a month.
That's a lot, though.
You get like one a week.
You would have to be to go to a movie a movie theater once a week. That's like hardcore fan.
Yeah.
So even then, I couldn't.
I saw Han
justify it.
Solo 3 times opening weekend,
Oh
and
my gosh.
I paid for it myself.
Okay.
It blows through around $21 million a month because of users.
Oof.
Yeah.
$21 million a month.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, speaking of movies, number one movie at the box office. We talked about it last week. We kind of, I thought that it would have been a pretty tight race between Mission Impossible Fallout and the Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Way wrong.
Yeah, well, Mission Impossible number one took in $61.5 million, and Teen Titans Go came in 5th.
Aw.
Yeah, I forgot Mamma Mia opened.
Oh, gosh.
Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia.
Hotel Transylvania 3.
Yeah.
We've been taking our boys through those movies slowly but
Where
surely.
you at? Which one?
We are up to MI5,
Oh,
which I haven't seen.
gosh, that's a good one.
I missed Rogue Nation. Ghost Protocol was the last one Chrissy and I saw. So we were screening them because we were like, man, they were fun at the time. The first one came out in 96, man. The first movie is 22 years old.
That's crazy.
It's really dated. Really dated. They're trying to like do stuff on their little Nokia phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, the technology is just bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's still been fun to go through those with the boys, you know?
Yeah.
So, because it's not like James Bond. James Bond, a lot of ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Not the case with Mission Impossible.
Right. Yeah,
More
it's just like a straight
spy.
up action.
Yeah, spy, espionage.
Right.
It's been a lot of fun to like take the older boys through that.
Yeah, the
so.
reviews. Everybody that's seen the new Mission Impossible is like, oh my gosh, this is the best.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the best Mission Impossible, but I had friends going like, no, dude, I'm telling you, it's the greatest action movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, that's a bold statement, man.
Better than Fast and the Furious.
Okay. Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Probably.
Better than the Chronicles of Riddick. Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement. It's a lot of great, The Rock. I mean, come on, any of the Rock films.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here.
You know, Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, when he signed up for Mission Impossible, was like, I could die. Like I was reading this article this morning, and he seriously signed up for this, and it's like, there's certain jobs you just know that you want. You know what I mean? Like in your life, there's these things, and it's like taking risks. I'm going to go for it. I'm all in. And he said from the very beginning, he knew he wanted all in on an opportunity to play opposite Tom Cruise in a Mission Impossible, but he also knew, being that it was Tom Cruise, being that it was Mission Impossible, that there was a chance things could go awry.
Mm-hmm.
And so
You could die.
one scene in particular, we haven't seen it, but there's the helicopter chase. We've talked about this before. Tom Cruise studied 16 hours a day for 2 months to get his helicopter license so that they could do this. Their helicopters were only 6 feet apart.
Jeez.
And Henry Cavill thought at one point, like, I may die for this role. Like, is this worth it?
Did Henry Cavill, did he learn how to fly a helicopter?
No. Tom Cruise was the one flying him.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen the scene, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Their rotors were about 4 feet from the cliffs and about 6 feet from each other. So one little gust,
Jeez.
game over.
Right?
Yeah. At one point, crew members thought Tom Cruise actually did die because it didn't go well the first time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
He said he could see the whites in Tom Cruise's eyes
oh my gosh.
as they're doing this helicopter chase through this valley.
Are we going to go after the show today?
Yeah.
We're going to try to use your movie pass?
Nope. Yeah. So.
Good. Guys, it's Monday. You ready?
Monday morning,
Okay.
morning. Filling up coffee cups, waking up Monday. Heaven's sakes, don't be late for work today. We'll help get you through this Monday.
Guys, we got a big show. You can hang out with us. We're live on Facebook and YouTube Live at Star 88 FM. Couple WWE wrestlers died over the weekend.
I
That's pretty
saw
sad. And I don't, you know what? We're going to save that one for later on in the show.
Right?
Well, movie passed, and now LeBron James regrets naming his son LeBron Jr. We'll find out why. Would you want Skittles without their shells?
What?
Yeah. Think about that. How weird would that be? And researchers discovered a block that contained the remains of the apostles Philip, Andrew, and Peter.
Is that real? Is this confirmed?
I mean,
Okay.
talk about it. You guys can chime in. We're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. We'll be right back. Hang out.
CareNet Pregnancy Centers offer hope and help to men and women with pregnancy-related concerns, offering a range of free services that affirm and prepare men and women to value themselves and their unborn children. The 2018 Walk for Life is scheduled for Saturday, August 25th at various locations around the Albuquerque metro area, including the East Mountains, Northeast Heights, Valencia County, and Rio Rancho. By getting pledges to support your walk, you will be helping to provide services to those in need of STD and pregnancy testing, ultrasound confirmation, and other resources including counseling and educational material. Encourage your friends to visit our website to view the full list of services that are available. The 2018 Walk for Life to support area CareNet Pregnancy Centers is happening Saturday, August 25th. For registration and information, go to carenetabq.org. That's carenetabq.org. Part of Mission New Mexico, sponsored by TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, KNKT 107.1 FM, and Star 88.
DL Moody reminds us our greatest fear should not be of failure, but of succeeding at something that doesn't really matter. Star 88 with a solar flare.
Ever since you left, I've been taking it a day at a time. Stuck it in my head, searching for a reason to the rhyme. I know you're wondering if I'm okay. I know you're asking how I'll make it through the day. Now I'm hanging up, and I think it's time that you do the same. Why you dragging it out? Why you making me need it? I move on, but you won't let me get you off my mind. Why you running me round? Now I gotta relive it. You never call me, but you keep me hanging on the line. Keep me on the line. Don't keep me on the line. Keep me on the line. Don't keep me on the line. Chasing every step till I figure out what brought us here. I say what you're too scared to say, even if it's not what you wanna hear. Maybe it's time to make a clean break. Gotta let this go for your own sake. Now I'm hanging up, and I think it's time that you do the same. Why you dragging it out? Why you making me need it? I move on, but you won't let me get you off my mind. Why you running me round? Now I gotta relive it. You never call me, but you keep me hanging on the line. Keep me on the line. Keep me on the line. Keep me on the line. Don't keep me on the line. Kept my heart locked up all for yourself. Held my love hostage from everyone else. Twisted and tied up and caught in your spell. Why you dragging it out? Why you making me need it? I move on, but you won't let me get you off my mind. Why you running me round? Now I gotta relive it. You never call me, but you keep me hanging on the line. Why you dragging it out? Why you making me need it? I move on, but you won't let me get you off my mind. Why you running me round? Now I gotta relive it.
is the Star PowerPoint from Billy Graham.
We're just going to shut up and let him preach it.
Matthew 26, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. And we go back again to the Old Testament. Hebrews quotes it. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without the shedding of blood is no forgiveness. No forgiveness. The blood, you see, is a shadow and a type in the Old Testament, and it was sprinkled on the tabernacle, the vessels, the book, the congregations annually, and this action enabled God to forgive sin. Divine justice was satisfied, and divine mercy extended through the types of blood. And Jesus, in his death on the cross, made possible the forgiveness of sins and the extension of mercy at the same time. Holiness was left pure, and while mercy and love provided the demands of justice, this is the heart of the gospel. There is no gospel but this.
Star 88, Star PowerPoint.
Hey, what's going on in the news today?
State of emergency in California as wildfires rage in the west.
The death toll now rising to 6.
President Trump threatening to shut down the government if he doesn't get a border wall.
Sexual misconduct allegations involving CBS Chairman Les Moonves, reporting the CBS Board of Directors may name a special committee to oversee an internal investigation.
New video showing a deadly scene in Pennsylvania. Police gunning down a suspect on the side of a busy road.
In Missouri, a distracted police officer driving right into a cyclist. Missouri Highway Patrol confirming distraction contributed to that accident. The officer suspended with pay.
TSA program where passengers are secretly being watched on the plane and after they land without even knowing. The program is called Quiet Skies.
Actor Ving Rhames just went public about a confrontational moment with police in his own home.
Said a large black man was breaking in to the house.
Mission Impossible Fallout made more than $61 million. That's the biggest opening yet for the series.
So much happened over the weekend. Good morning. Dex and Steve-O.
Yeah, man.
Live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. What's up, Facebook and YouTube Live? You guys can hang out with us. Star 88 FM. Go search us. Like our page. Follow us. Tell us how your weekend was. You guys do anything cool? Went for a bike ride yesterday?
I know.
Oh, gosh. Man, if you ride bikes and you haven't rode a bike for a while, my butt, oh my gosh, is so sore. And shout out to Bill Peterson. That guy's a beast. Yeah. He seriously, here's the thing with Bill. He's so big. He's huge. He's like one of the biggest men I've ever seen in my life. And he jumps on a bike and he can just go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm lying. He's not that big.
He's not that big.
He's actually very, very handsome and fit.
Oh, nice.
But, man, he's got some power legs. Oh, he smokes me every time. And I've been thinking, you know what? I got him. I've been running. Yeah, I'm totally going to beat him. No. Bill hasn't been on a bike ride in probably 6 months. Man. He creamed me. Just destroyed me. I'm not going to get back on a bike for a while. That's for sure. What else did I do? We ate a lot of wings this weekend. We're like on this wing kick at the Peterson house. B-Dub sells their sauce now. So you just wing fest. You know, they have Lobster Fest.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it was like wing fest at the Petersons.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're alive.
Winged out.
I'm glad you're alert and here.
I'm here.
It's good, man.
I'm here, man. You guys can chime in, be a part of the show, 505-338-3700, or you can text into the live line. What's the number?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
Now, you guys can call and leave a voicemail as well if you'd like to say something about the station, say something about us. You can say whatever you want, really. It can be funny, it can be serious, and we haven't checked it in a while.
Next message.
Well, as we're moving out of town today, I've got to say, Star 88 is on the top of things that I'm going to miss about Albuquerque. So thank you, Stephen Dex, for a great show in the morning on the way to work. Thank you, Sam Swan for being your incredible self, and thank you for everybody behind the scenes that puts it all together. It's really been a blessing for the past, I don't know how many years we've gone through all of your different morning shows, but I gotta say, Steve-O and Dex is primo. All right. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that was very sweet.
That was very sweet.
Well, here's the deal, and I hope this Starmy member understands that even though you're leaving doesn't mean you have to leave us. Well, the cool thing about moving somewhere else is you can always have a piece of home. You know, we got a lot of Starmy members that don't live in Albuquerque, you know? Well, majority of our audience live all over the world, so.
Through the app, through online, so many ways you can keep listening.
Yeah, so shout out if you guys are streaming us somewhere.
Yeah.
Let us know if you want to text in and just, tell us where you're streaming us from. You can download the Star 88 app to your smartphone, stream us live, get us on demand, iTunes. So seriously, you don't have to just find another show.
Yeah, for realsies.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got an itch. Should we get that right there?
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, right there. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, I'm good. Thanks, man.
No props.
All right, we kicked off the show with some pretty devastating news about MoviePass. I think we should probably kick off the show with something a little bit better.
We need positive.
Something to pick us up a little bit.
Something positive and encouraging, you know?
I think I've heard that before. Where have I heard that?
I mean, I only listen to this, so it must be from here.
Here's your headline. A retired Marine saved a guy from a fire and saved his American flag, too. Huffington Post did a write-up on a retired Marine named Tucker Zimmerman, who's helping with the massive wildfire in Northern California. Did you see some of the footage of that? Oh, my gosh.
It's crazy.
It is. And their headline is all about how he's been using trailers to save people's horses, which is great. Now, I had no idea that horses like to watch trailers, but because they're so great, I mean, if you guys haven't seen Mission Impossible, go watch the trailer. That thing's insane. Why are you laughing at me?
That's because I was literally about to make that joke, but you kept talking.
That was a stupid bit.
Same brain.
Gosh.
Same brain.
That was dumb. Yeah, horses. Everybody loves horses. He drove through a neighborhood the other day, this retired Marine, where every single house was on fire. And apparently he got a guy out. He pulled him from his house and used a hose to keep the fire at bay until firefighters got there. Then they took the guy away. And here's a pretty cool detail. It sounds like the guy he saved might be a veteran too, because apparently Tucker talked to the guy's wife before he got to the house, and she asked him to flag if he could.
Wow.
So, Tucker went back. He went back, and he saved the American flag. He also saved, horses. He saved the guy. He saved the American flag. And the guy said it restored his faith in humanity. And losing his horse would have been like losing a child. That's true, man. Horses are a lot like dogs.
Horses are a lot like dogs.
They're like man's best friend.
I mean,
did you grow up with horses?
We had. I didn't have them like in my backyard by any stretch of the imagination, but yes,
I did.
I know you did.
I had a corral.
Of course, you had a horse as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're cool.
They're way cool.
Yeah.
I'd
still rather just have my dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know,
Lot of care.
if I had to pick,
Quite expensive.
I'd probably pick a dog for sure.
Yeah.
Because horses are too big, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Going out,
They're
walking
a lot of work.
your horse.
They're a lot of work.
Nah.
I don't know how the Christensens do it.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I said the Christensens?
Yes.
When it came out of my mouth, it seemed weird. The Christensens.
Can't even say it.
The Christensens.
Woo!
Yes, the Christensens. Our friend Stephen Christian. And
Speaking of randomly, Jay Marie chimed in and said, was in Florida last week and missed the morning invasion. Yeah.
Why'd you miss it?
On vacation, I guess.
Well,
saw Stephen Christian at the Houston airport.
Really? That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, he was down there.
But she'd slept in the airport all night, weather / connection issue, so I wasn't my best. Didn't say hello. Anyway, good morning. Good morning, Jay Marie. Glad you're okay.
Well, see, if you download our podcast, Jay Marie, you could have been listening to us while you were spending the night at the airport.
That's true.
If you guys ever need help with that on how to do it, we know some of you aren't very tech savvy. We'll walk you through the steps. It's easy. Super easy.
Okay.
All right. Coming up after 7 o'clock, we'll talk about Facebook banning a famous picture of Jesus.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting.
They banned Jesus on Facebook, guys. Pass it on.
Okay, let's be careful in the way we come on. Now all the Christians are going to be up in like an uproar.
Facebook's banned Jesus.
Facebook banned Jesus.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
Mom, wait, slow down. Hear the story first. Hear the story first. Coming up 7:30? What'd you say? 7:40?
You know, I don't know. It's between 7 and 8 a.m.
It was sometime. Be listening from the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 p.m.
All right, let's talk about where's that other story that here we go. This is I don't know. See, how do they know? How do they know?
Give us the deets.
There was a 661-pound basalt block. Basalt?
Yeah.
What's a basalt block?
It's like when they take regular salt and mix it with black pepper, and then they like shake it up.
Okay.
And it's like basalt.
661-pound basalt block. Basalt. Basalt.
We're never gonna hear this story.
I guess they found this huge basalt block, and it contained the remains of Philip, Andrew, and Peter.
Philip.
It was discovered in the ruins of an ancient city, Bethsaida.
Yeah.
The town of Bethsaida, also referred to as Al-Araj, is briefly mentioned in John 1:44 as the hometown of these three apostles.
Huh.
How do they know? Because it probably said maybe on there, on the
yes,
on the basalt block.
Here lies Philip, Andrew, and Peter. All three in the same
box. Will you Google basalt block? Is that like a coffin? Is like a box?
Oh my gosh!
Because okay, what were all three of them doing in the basalt block?
Right.
You know, what is that like?
Keep going.
This professor guy said that it cannot be known for. Okay, see, it cannot be known for sure.
Of course.
According to the professor, archaeologists had been digging through the ruins of an old church and came across the basalt block by mistake. Did you find it?
Yeah, it's like just a giant stone block.
Oh, okay.
I don't
know. We didn't find it in the excavation. It was found in the debris of an Ottoman-era two-story house built by a rich man from Damascus who owned all the land locally in the late 19th century. His full name was Abdul Rahman. And apparently the reliquary discovered was placed on the floor below the church altar. That's really all the details.
His full name was not Abdul Rahman. It was Abdul Rahman Pasha Al Yusuf.
Wow. Did I have to say the whole thing?
Yes, because you just said his full name is, and then said two names and gave up.
Because it got really intimidating. You know?
His full name, Abdul Rahman.
Do we have to say the full name?
If you say his full name was, then yes.
Abdul Rahman Pasha Al Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Guys, this isn't real.
No.
All right. Let's go back to let's talk to you guys for a second. All right. We know you like to share a lot of things on Facebook.
Yeah.
In fact, I've seen people share this story. People are like, "Oh my gosh, they found it. More proof." Okay. Well, I mean, it could be. This very well could be Philip, Andrew, and Peter. But
yeah,
it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay,
I have a hard time. I
we
really
know they
do.
existed.
I have a hard time with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Last week we were talking about the Shroud on Friday, Shroud of Turin. I usually do have a hard time. I'm a skeptic when it comes to any of these things. They discovered the bones of, this, that, and the other, and I'm like, oh, okay. Why do we need that?
I don't know.
I mean, I understand on the flip side, it's like, yeah, but how great is that? That person walked the earth. That person walked with Jesus. Now we have proof of their existence. Bible comes alive a little more.
Yeah, I understand.
That's what some would say.
I get it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Guys?
somebody commented on the article. I essentially started 3 weeks past, and that I make about $385 to $150 consistently simply by working at the internet from domestic. I make this a long term, a great deal.
That's not. No,
I'm obliged.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just coins have adjusted my lifestyle in such a. Okay, wish that guy knew how to write. So there you go. That's the latest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of the latest, we got a question on the live line. I recently heard the song Reckless Love on the station. My question is, would you characterize God's love as reckless? I mean, I get that the writer's trying to illustrate that from a human perspective, it doesn't make any sense for God to give his son for us. You know, heaps of trash. But I feel as a worship song, it needs to return praise and adoration to the Father and Jesus. And reckless implies a lack of control. My God is in full control of everything, so his actions cannot be characterized as reckless. Thoughts?
Okay. Well, let's see here. Let's pull up the song. What's he talking about there, Steve?
God.
I mean, I get that you could take it, the word reckless, and say, okay, God isn't reckless, but I don't think that's what the musician's trying to say, right? It's because his love is so great and it's so we can't even comprehend his love.
Well, it's what he's saying, the idea that when I was your enemy, like you still fought for me. Like you still died for me while we were yet sinners. Christ died for our sins, right? Romans tells us that. And that's what it's talking about. Like God will never give up coming after you. Like I couldn't earn this love. I don't deserve it, but you're still giving it to me. And it's the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. The word reckless means without thinking or caring about the consequences of an action. So I would say, in that regard, it wasn't thoughtless what God did, right?
Right.
Guys, are we overthinking a worship song, maybe?
I think that person
Anyone?
did.
I
think
remember
you,
back in the
explained
day,
that good.
there was the famous one, right? Chris Tomlin, and people lost their minds because the term famous, because he's not after fame or glory. Like, anyway.
Hopefully we answered your question. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good. I think with that song, you really have to take that one lyric where it says, "It chases me."
Yeah.
And it gives us the, like you said, the human ideal of there's not really a safety or a concern for its own just proliferation. Like the love is going to follow you no matter how stupid you are. I mean, with humans, if somebody does something enough that's so ridiculous, eventually you say, you know what, I'm going to kind of have to let you go. I mean, you're too dangerous, you're too unsafe, and it's going to affect me. Whereas God's love is like, bro, there's nowhere I'm not going to chase you.
Right.
I'm just on a haphazard focus. I'm like locked in laser beam on you. And you go anywhere, and it's just going to continually follow you and chase you regardless of what the situation is.
I think that's why I like the term reckless, because I understand what they're saying. Like, from God's perspective, it wasn't careless or thoughtless or ill-advised or, any other of the synonyms for reckless. However, from our perspective, it absolutely seems that way, because there have been plenty of times in my life where I'm like, dude, you need to give up. I I am an idiot. I don't know why you're still chasing me. I am such a sinner, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it really perpetuates the ideal of there's not much you can do at all that God's going to eventually say, okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. I love it. Thanks for chiming in, man.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
All right.
If you guys want to call in, 505-338-3700. If you ever have questions, you can always call in, text in.
They chimed back in and said, yeah, but isn't relentless a better description? Thanks, Hillsong. Why can't you just enjoy the song?
Yeah, some people can't. Some people just have to nitpick at everything.
Somebody said, yeah, but I think praise and worship should actually be praise and worship, not me songs. And that's like from me, my perspective. Me.
Okay.
Why do we have to do this? Gosh.
Oh, I need the money. I need to work.
No,
I need insurance for my kids.
I don't mean. I just. Gosh, we get so nitpicky about some of the stupidest things, guys.
Did you just call that? If I remember stupid, that was
no.
Stupid.
I said that we get. Yes, we get nitpicky about stupid things.
Yes, that's right.
There are things that do matter, that details do matter theologically, but is this? I'm gonna go lie down. My head hurts.
Why don't you go lie down? Hey, we got a really, really cool guest. If you love football, you love the NFL.
Oh my gosh!
Tomorrow morning.
Oh my gosh!
We got a cool guest, but we're gonna tell you who it is until we come back. All right?
Oh!
Yeah, pretty big deal if you love the NFL. All right, we're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. If you guys want to chime in, we're hanging out on Facebook and YouTube Live at Star 88 FM. We'll be right back.
I'm Heidi, and here's what's happening. Sagebrush Church is collecting supplies to help teachers stock their classrooms. If you are interested in helping out, you can pick up facial tissues, disinfecting wipes, and copy paper and take them to any Sagebrush location now through August 4th and 5th. Join Calvary Chapel Rio Rancho for an afterglow on Sunday, August 5th at 4:30 p.m. There will be worship, prayer, and fellowship. Real Life Church is hosting the big event on August 12th from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. They're giving haircuts, prepackaged, non-perishable food, school supplies, hygiene products, and clothes for free as supplies last. Their goal is to spread the gospel in our community by providing families in need with supplies as they send their kids back to school. If you know about an event coming up in your community or maybe a back-to-school event at your church, let us know. All you have to do is fill out the form online at star88.fm. For more information about events happening in your community and so much more, visit star88.fm. For what's happening, I'm Heidi, and this is Star 88.
Pastor Jack Graham and a Star 88 Supernova.
If we were living full throttle for Christ in our world, we would be making a much bigger difference in our culture. Because when you read your New Testament, when you read your Bible, you discover that the church, though it was small and fledgling at the beginning, turned the world upside down. I mean, they didn't have what we have today. They didn't have the technology. Our ministry, we're heard on radio and television and seen in the internet and listened to in the internet all across the country, 78 countries as well. These amazing tools that we have, and I'm so grateful for them. But sometimes I look at what we have, what we have been given, and I realize that we must be faithful, for to whom much is given, much is required.
Catch Pastor Jack Graham, PowerPoint, broadcast weekdays at 10:30 a.m. on our sister station, KNKT. This is KLYT, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Star 88, New Mexico's fresh alternative.
I used to wonder if I ever could be loved. Never gonna live up. Should I give up? Will I ever be enough? What I didn't understand is you love me as I am. I don't care where
Dex and Steve-O on Star 88.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. 2 days left of July. Crazy.
Dang, dude.
Enjoy it. Welcome to the show. We're live from the Dream Style Remodeling Star 88 Studios.
Buckle up, buttercup.
Okay. You guys can be a part of the show. Hang out with us on Facebook and YouTube at Star 88 FM.
Shout out to our boy Bawataba. Sent us an article I can't even look at.
What? What is it?
He's like been all over the world, working in various countries. He sent us an article and said, one of the projects I'm working on in your backyard.
Oh. It's not working though, huh?
Well, I can't. I don't have access. I don't have the proper credentials.
Oh.
He sent me a top secret website. What?
Could fix that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. If you could just give us a pass.
Mm-hmm.
The credentials.
Can't tease us like that, man. Leave us hanging. Like we teased you right before we went to break. We said we were going to have somebody on the show tomorrow who's a big deal. You know, if you love football. This is all you, dude. I'm probably just going to step out and go get a muffin or something while you do this interview tomorrow.
Stop it now.
I don't know what to say to him. I want to take your time.
Put it on the calendar tomorrow, 8:10 a.m. I am going to try and maintain my cool while we talk to a phenomenal man of God. Seriously.
Yeah?
Huge fan. In the 90s, I was teamless, bro. The Cowboys had failed me. When I went, they were at their top two. They were like winning Super Bowls at this time, so it wasn't like they were terrible thing. And I lost a lot of love because we went to a game and wanted to meet some heroes and instead got snubbed.
Oof. Like
a child who woke up on Christmas without presents. And I was like, I'm done. So fast forward mid-90s, into the 90s. There's a new stadium, Raymond James Stadium. And the very first event Raymond James Stadium ever held was a Billy Graham crusade.
Ooh.
Billy Graham bringing the word of God. And this gentleman introduced him and shared a little bit about his testimony. That man's name is Tony Dungy.
Oh, Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy at the time was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I instantaneously gravitated to that guy. Became a huge Buccaneers fan.
Really? That was the reason, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And had been ever since. Love Tony Dungy. So, yeah.
Yeah, his wife's going to be on the phone as well.
Yeah.
So it's both of them, and I guess they're promoting a new series of children's books.
Yeah, dude, they're a phenomenal couple. They write great children's books, and again, they're both incredible people. So great love for the Lord, and I cannot wait to spend some time with them tomorrow, 8:10 a.m. Tony and Lauren Dungy going to be on the show with us, and I'm going to get his blessing to follow Derek Carr and the Raiders because
I was going to ask, do you think he's going to be okay with that?
That's a good question. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Because I'm for real asking for his blessing. You need his blessing. He's the reason I was a Buccaneers fan.
What if he doesn't give you the blessing?
Well, I'm going to follow the Raiders anyways.
Oh, okay.
I'm a rebel. That would be
You're a Raider.
That would be very Raider Nation to just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so being in New Mexico, you don't really have like a team. There's plenty of Cowboy fans here and Bronco fans, whatever. The Cardinals are just as close, guys. Yeah. In fact, closer than the Cowboys. So, I don't know. People like their teams for whatever reason. I'm a huge fan of Derek Carr. He is an incredible follower of Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And a good dude.
Yeah.
So,
well, just remember, his wife's going to be on the phone.
Yeah.
They're going to be wanting to talk about these children's books, all right?
Yeah.
Because, everybody's going to be talking football, and his wife's going to be going,
he does Sunday Night Football along with Dan Patrick, Rodney Harrison. They're probably my favorite crew talking football.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Good.
Huge fan. Huge fan. So Tony Dungy, former, he was the head coach of the Buccaneers, and then also coached Peyton Manning after that.
Nice.
Went to the Colts. So
that's awesome, man.
Now he's an analyst and hangs out in a studio writing children's books with his wife.
Writing children's books.
Sounds good.
That's where the money's at, man. Yeah. LeBron James, he regrets naming his son LeBron Jr. Why do you think he regrets that?
Because he wanted his son to have his own life.
Yeah.
And now his son is seriously like just categorized as Bron Jr.
Yeah.
Am I kind of?
Yeah. Well, there's
that's what I would think.
There's a new talk show coming out starring LeBron. It's going to feature Jon Stewart, Snoop Dogg, Odell Beckham Jr., Candace Parker, and there's a clip that came out, and he's talking about how he regrets naming his oldest son after him. Quote, "I still regret giving my 14-year-old my name because of the pressure to live up to me in basketball. When I was younger, I didn't have a dad, so my whole thing was whenever I have a kid, not only is he going to be a junior, but I'm going to do everything that this man didn't do." So, I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen LeBron Jr. play? He's awesome. He's he's going to be in the NBA. I mean, it's a good possibility that we might see LeBron playing alongside his son in the NBA.
Really?
Yeah, because his son is 14. And so if LeBron can stick it out for 4 more years, well, I guess, is it 18 or 19? They go back to 18 in the NBA, or is it still 19? Last I heard it was 19. You couldn't just go straight from high school into the NBA. Yeah, but I was watching. There was a really cool video of him shooting around at one of a basketball game, and he was playing with his son and shooting hoops and stuff. And he just seems like a really, really good guy. You know,
I agree that would be a lot of pressure.
It would be.
So it's really cool that LeBron is saying this.
Yeah.
I know people you either love him or you hate him. I happen to really like LeBron, but I get that. I was looking to see Michael Jordan. He had Marcus, he had Jeffrey, no MJ Juniors though, huh? Marcus was the one that was
yeah, right,
kind of played, which is kind of odd that Michael B. Jordan, is Michael Jordan Jr.
Yeah,
but is no relation to MJ. Although if he was MJ's son, I'd be like, he's more famous.
Yeah,
he's Killmonger. He's in that Black Panther movie. He's so great.
Right.
I love Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, but you start thinking about that. Like, how many juniors are there? Dale Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr. He kind of lived up to his dad's legacy. I know that they're going to be those crazy NASCAR people like, what? No way, man. Number 3, bro. The Intimidator.
At first, I thought you were talking about Dale Curry because.
Yes, Dale Curry.
Yeah, his son Steph.
But
Dale Curry was never really he was a good 3-point shooter, but he was a pretty solid. You know what? I take it back. Dale Curry was pretty good.
Outstanding NBA basketball player.
Not nearly like a LeBron James.
Do you think, though, that sets somebody up for failure, or you're wanting them to succeed? Like LeBron names his kid Junior, and I understand not wanting to live in the shadow of your father. This is something I honestly cannot speak to. In the under the legacy, under the thumb of your dad,
yeah.
I recognize as a son, I didn't want to do the things my dad did, but I don't have that. So I'm like, Starmy, help us out.
Yeah.
You know, phone lines are open, or text in 505-585-LIVE.
Good morning. Okay, thank you.
Al Unser Jr., somebody mentioned. Man.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I have a funny story about Michael B. Jordan. I'm watching on YouTube, so it's a little delayed.
Okay, that's totally cool.
Okay, so I told my husband and my 15-year-old daughter when we went to go see Black Panther that Michael B. Jordan was Nick Cannon. And they're like, no, we read the credits. It's not Nick Cannon. I said, yes, it is Nick Cannon. When he divorced Mariah Carey in the prenup, she kept his name, so he had to change it. And Michael Jordan.
God.
So he had Michael B. Jordan. And
That's
then
amazing.
they were like, no. And I said, yes. And then we got home, and I told my husband again, and I was like, I Googled it. because he was going to grab his phone to Google it, and I was like, I already Googled it.
Oh,
and he
my
was like,
gosh.
okay. And our 15-year-old believed me. It was hilarious.
That is
So-
terrible. They'll
Yeah,
never
that's why I
believe
love-
you for anything
Yeah,
ever again.
That's good.
I
Ever
know.
again.
But it was really good. Like, I got a side-by-side picture of the both of them. I was like, no, really, Mariah Carey's crazy. She took his name.
Oh,
It was awesome.
That's
incredible.
hilarious.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
All right, I've got a few.
All right.
Cal Ripken Jr.
Ooh.
Yeah. Am I right? King Griffey Jr.
Mm.
Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Mm.
What?
I mean,
I can't name his best movie because
oh.
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't.
he won an Oscar for it, man.
Yeah, but his career is really.
He won an Oscar.
Yeah, but what happened? Where did he go?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
How old's his kid? Or I guess, no, his dad was a famous singer, right?
Mm-hmm. Sammy Davis Jr. That's all I got.
Yeah, okay. All right.
These are the famous juniors, guys. If you're just joining us, LeBron James said he kind of wishes he didn't name his 14-year-old LeBron James Jr. because that's a lot to live up to.
Yeah, I think I have a clip here.
What do you say to your kid, though, like living up to you being their dad? And they're playing the same sport that you played better than anyone else in the world has ever played it. How do you give them a peace of mind that they don't have to be you?
I still regret giving my 14-year-old my name because of that.
Right.
Like when I was younger, obviously didn't have a dad. So my whole thing was like, whenever I have a kid, not only is he gonna be a junior, I'm gonna do everything that this man didn't do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're gonna experience things that I didn't experience. The only thing I can do is give them the blueprint, and it's up to them to take their own course whenever that time happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see how hard that would be because, you know, depending on who you are,
Right.
you could go in the opposite direction.
You could. Somebody said if senior is junior's hero, then junior isn't feeling unwanted pressure from the outside. It's up to senior to reassure and encourage junior.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I know this guy, he didn't have the same name as his dad, but it was tough for him. His dad was the best boxer in the world. His name is Rocky.
Okay,
And
shut
to
up.
live up to
That's not real,
that, I mean, his
man.
friends were always wanting to talk about his dad, and he couldn't really have his own life. You know, it was like he was living in his father's shadow all the time.
Yeah.
It was tough for him. I didn't want to say his name on the air, you know. No, he doesn't want to be compared to Rocky anymore.
No, man.
It's tough.
Do you know Floyd Mayweather is a junior? Speaking of boxers,
Oh, really?
That's actually.
What is his dad, a boxer?
Let's see. His father, Floyd Sr. Yeah, he was a boxing trainer and welterweight contender, and then Junior came in and. I mean, there have been a few juniors like that. In my opinion, King Griffey Jr., one of the greatest baseball players in the '90s, and one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
His dad was a great baseball player, but he far surpassed him.
Yeah.
Love the kid, man. So I like that. A lot of people chiming in. Martin Luther King Jr., probably the most famous. Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I still can't believe he waited until his kid was 14 to name him.
That's good.
Well done.
You know what's cool about
Well done.
LeBron James Jr. is
Uh-huh.
that he plays alongside Shaq's son, Sharif.
Well, that's weird.
How cool is that?
No, it just makes me feel old.
Here's Sharif O'Neal.
Wow. That's weird. When you're at a point where all of the kids are playing.
I know, it's so
you're
weird,
going,
right?
Yep. I'm
Oh,
old. We
so
did it, guys.
crazy.
We are old. How about Robert Downey Jr.? But who's his dad?
I don't
I'm talking
know.
about when the father is so famous, you have to somehow go beyond that.
Yeah, especially, if you have your father's name.
Right.
And he's this huge
Living up to-
superstar.
Yeah.
That has to be tough. Good morning.
You know, what never happens is there's never a junior after a mom. I actually was Shirley Peterson Jr. but I changed my name.
Did you? That doesn't surprise me.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Shirley. It's good, Bill.
Well done.
It's good.
Ricky Bobby Jr.
Ricky Bobby Jr. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, Griffey Jr. probably one that where his father had the fame and he had to somehow live up to it.
Yeah.
He did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Pretty good job.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my dad, and man, I'm very proud of my dad because he had a business that he ran for over 40 years in a small town.
Yeah.
And to think how hard that is, especially in a small community in Montana, to have a semi-successful business, that's an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad should be very proud of himself because and my mom as well. She was always, either working a second job or she was helping with all the shop stuff. So my parents, they did an incredible job with the business and for 40 years. So when I look at that and I look at my life right now, it's like, okay, I'm doing well. I've been a radio for 20 years and things are okay. But to think, man, just how consistent my dad was, that's how I want to be. I want to be consistent.
Yeah.
I want to work hard because he's still, he's 75 and he's still not retired full time. He's still doing things,
Yeah.
which is good. I guess you want to be doing stuff till you die, right? You don't want to just be sitting there.
Yeah, you don't want to be idle.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Man, this raises such a good question though for us dads listening. Like, how do we raise up and encourage our children? Because a lot of times we can put undue pressure on our kids because we want them to either be better than what we did or in the same field that we are in.
Yeah.
So how do we encourage without becoming a discouragement? Because maybe that's not what they're called to do or what they want to do with their life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So good on LeBron James for coming out when this kid's 14 and going, hey,
right.
Hey, no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You do you. It just so happens that his kid greatly wants to be a basketball player.
Yeah, he can hit the
and he's
the three,
really
man.
good.
He can hit the three. He's really good. He'll be in the NBA for sure.
Yeah.
He's a big kid. 505-338-3700 if you'd like to chime in on the conversation of taking on that name, your dad's name.
Oh, man, we missed a big one. Somebody said, come on, man, how did y'all not get this? George H.W. Bush.
Oh, man.
And George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Imagine your dad's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
Living up to that one.
Right?
Yeah, I'll just be president. That's a really good one.
Yeah, right?
I have failed. I have failed this city. I apologize, guys. Forgot about the old dub. A bunch of people chiming in still with their favorite junior. Juniors that have gone after their father who did great things. Of course, we mentioned Dale Earnhardt Jr. already, Martin Luther King Jr., Al Unser Jr.
Did you ever think about naming one of your kids after you?
Luke actually left the hospital with Luke Steven. I never thought about naming my kid my exact name.
Yeah.
Nah, I wanted him to be unique. Not that there's anything wrong with naming your kid Junior. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but for some reason it just never, I don't know.
Yeah, my sons, they have middle names. So Caleb is Caleb Joseph, and then Landon is Landon Aaron.
Oh, okay.
It's spelled I spell it, so,
That's cool.
I wanted them to have my name.
But the full name, you wanted to have
I wanted
Joseph?
Landon to be Aaron Joseph Toth, and
so
Caleb
backwards?
to be Joseph Aaron.
Stop it, man. I can never tell when you're serious. Yeah, no, that was not a thing. So, why not?
Yeah.
What about Junior Asparagus? We forgot Junior Asparagus.
Junior
Thank
Asparagus,
you, member
yes.
of the Starmy.
Yes.
JFK Jr.
Yes.
I don't know that Junior lived up to his father, but and see that's hard to say. I shouldn't even say that. They're different human beings. That's part of the problem with this.
Right.
Because we're talking about totally different humans.
Right.
But because of who their parents were or who a father was, all of a sudden there's this weird undue pressure Think about like the 19 Georges running around. George Foreman.
Oh my gosh.
He named all of his kids George.
Even his daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool as a father. Just think about, our kids they're teenagers. It's kind of exciting to, like, see what they're going to be,
Yeah. Because you never know.
You just never know. Because every kid has such a different personality than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And even us, like, I look at my kids and I'm like, geez, sometimes I don't even see myself in them. I'm like,
see, and if there was one for me, it would have been my eldest, Jack.
Yeah.
He would be the junior. He's like mini me. It's identical and frustrating. It's probably why I'm the hardest on him. Because I see everything he does and I'm like, oh, I know that. I know that move.
Right.
That was my move, bro.
Yeah.
You are me. So. Somebody actually chimed in and says this is a topic between him and his wife. The wife says if we have a son, she wants to name him after me. She wants to have a junior, but I don't want to.
Tell us why you don't want that.
It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, because I know.
I mean, it makes sense. Like the wife's like, hey, I married you. I love you. You're a great man. Let's name our son after you. But I also understand from the dad's perspective, like, ugh. Because I think you can put undue pressure on a child.
Yeah.
You can also, like, not rob them of an identity, but if that's how you're defined as just, so-and-so's kid.
I wonder if my brother has that pressure because he's named after my dad and grandpa. Because my grandpa handed down his name.
Wait, so he's the third?
He's the third, yeah. He's the third.
How are we 10 minutes into this conversation and you're just now saying this?
I know, I just kind of realized it. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, my brother's the third.
Yeah.
Somebody chimed in and said that they're my son is Albert the Fourth. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Just handing that name down.
Yeah.
Good for you. I like that. I think that's absolutely okay to hand down a name like that.
Yeah.
Be proud of it. All right, you guys can chime in 505-338-3700. You can also hang out with us on Facebook and YouTube at Star 88 FM. You can also hit the live line. What's that number?
505-585-LIVE. It's 505-585-5483. Hang out with us.
Yeah, shoot us a text. We're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. We'll be right back.
How would you sum up your life's passion? Here's how Skip Heitzig does that for Paul the Apostle.
Paul's passion can be summed up by two words: the gospel. The gospel. The message that changes people's lives was what he lived for. It was his master passion.
Hotspot. Freedom. Do you have it at work and home? Warning. This could sting.
Some of you feel chained to a job. It's a tyrant to you. Some of you feel chained to a relationship or a set of responsibilities you didn't sign up for. And maybe because of that, your passion is gone. It's dried up.
But we have an example from Paul that even prison can be a place of power.
The longest period of Paul's incarceration was the greatest period of Paul's impact. In other words, Paul's confinement was God's assignment.
Take Skip's teachings on the go. Get the Skip Heitzig podcast on your mobile device from wherever you get your audio.
You could see it as an opportunity. If, and only if, your passion is the gospel.
Hotspot.
Here's a quote from Martin Luther. God writes the gospel not in the Bible alone, but also on trees and in the flowers and clouds and stars. A Star 88 solar flare.
Daring to be more than ordinary, I was born to be brave, born to be brave. Taking the plunge into vulnerability, I was born to be brave, born to be brave. Being all you created me to, I was born to be brave. No more hiding, no more running away, I will walk it out, I'll walk it out. No more hiding, no more running away, I will stand my ground. Step
Rich Wilkerson Jr. reminds us that if we desire to lead, we must first learn to follow.
When we gather, we're to minister unto our God, that we're to praise and bless the name of Jesus. That's why we open up the services here at Life Church with praise and worship. That's not a concert for you and I, but rather that's a concert for our God. We're worshiping our God. How many know that when we praise our God, when we bless our God, it changes things? The psalmist, he said this, he said, "Oh, magnify the Lord. Let us exalt his holy name." He was on to something. He was talking about the idea that I want to magnify, I want to bless the name of God, because as I magnify the name of Jesus, his presence grows bigger in my life. What are you magnifying today? The problem, or are you magnifying the answer? His name is Jesus.
That's a PowerPoint on Star 88.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another reason to breathe this air. And now we made for ourselves. This won't be the last time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, I know it when I met you. I'm not the only one who's alone. Find me soon and take me home. I know it when I saw you. I'm not the only one hanging on. Tie me to someone who will love me. Oh, never in my life did I want to see you more than this. And every time you're lost, I wonder if you know you're missed. I'm breathing when I can, and I only hope you're watching this. I hope you know that I exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, I knew it when I met you. I'm not the only one who's alone. Find me soon and take me home. I knew it when I saw you. I'm not the only one hanging on. Tie me to someone who will love me. Somebody pick me up. Somebody to find my life. Somebody to pick me up. Ooh, somebody to pick me up. Somebody to find my life. Somebody to pick me up. Ooh.
What's going on in the news today?
President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, confirmed Saturday a so-called joint defense agreement between the legal teams of Trump and Michael Cohen has ended.
CBS says it's investigating the allegations detailed in a New Yorker magazine article. 6 women claim they were sexually harassed by CEO Les Moonves.
More than 500 buildings have already burned, and another 5,000 are threatened by a wildfire raging in Northern California.
6.4 earthquake hit Indonesia's Lombok Island.
Pope Francis has effectively taken the title
Medal of Cardinal from Theodore McCarrick.
Tropical storm Jungdari made landfall early Sunday in central Japan.
The Baseball Hall of Fame welcomed their new class to Cooperstown.
The late Carrie Fisher will appear in the next Star Wars movie.
Your credit may still be impacted by that big Equifax data breach.
Cyclist Garrett Thomas crossed the Tour de France finish line as the champion.
Air Force defensive back Bradley Kim announced his sexual orientation on social media.
Mission Impossible Fallout earning more than $61 million.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange may be making plans to live outside the Ecuadorian embassy in London.
Oh, yeah? Good morning. Live from the Dreamstar Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Dex and Steve-O. What's up, Starmy?
What?
What's going on? Phone lines open 505-338-3700. You know, I wanted to talk about Facebook banning that famous picture, but there's really not a whole lot of details about it. It's like, okay, this guy, let's see, artist Peter Paul Rubin. He's famous for doing 17th century paintings.
Yeah.
And usually there's a lot of nudity in them.
Dudity.
Yeah. And Facebook ended up banning one of his paintings, which was of Jesus. And it looks like the disciples taking him down from the cross.
Yes.
And people lost their minds. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. But, I mean...
This is from 4 centuries ago, man. Like, his Baroque-style paintings were known to shock some. Many think they're masterpieces, have loved his work. Belgian museums are uniting in protest currently against Facebook over this because they cannot promote what they are currently doing because Rubens, the artist, is part of it. And there's like this crazy falling out with Facebook over, quote, adult content rules and automatic censorship of these masterpieces, including, as you mentioned, like that's how it started, was this painting of the disciples removing Jesus from the cross because it involves nudity.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this question, because I think this will be able to I think this goes right along the same page as this. When I was a little kid, my parents had this book, and it was full of Native American culture, and there was nudity with the tribes. There was pictures of these Native Americans,
right?
And of course they were naked because that's how they were,
right?
You know, they didn't wear a lot of clothes,
right?
Now, as a young kid, my parents wouldn't allow me to look at it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I see
Kinda
what
like
Facebook's
National Geographic,
doing. Right? Would
like-
you? I see what Facebook's doing. You know, I mean, how could you say? You know, some parents would be okay with their child looking at a piece of art like this. That's Jesus, he's nude, and look at it for, okay, this is art. But, you know, children don't look at it like we do as adults either.
I agree with that statement as well. I'm glad we're talking about it, though, because I would love opinion. Starmy, what do you think? Because, again, we're talking about these paintings that are centuries old, and it began by Facebook banning this imagery, this painting of Jesus as they were removing him from the cross, and he's nude.
Yeah.
And they banned it for nudity.
Yeah, you guys can call in.
Yeah, it kind of kicked into this crazy thing. Sorry, go ahead.
505-338-3700. It's kind of like the whole prayer in school debate. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you want to ban Muslims and other religious prayers, but be okay with.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like as Christians, when we were up in arms over the Quran being passed out in school.
Right.
So then in turn, the school said, okay, well, new policy in place. No more religious
Right.
Books, no more religious, and that got everybody banned.
And now Christians are like, let's get prayer back in school, and they don't understand.
Well, you can't actually because your policy. Where was that? Tennessee, I believe it was. They were handing out the Quran, and it was for this class, and Christians were up in arms, and they protested, and then they enacted this new law, basically, within the school system that's like, okay, no more religious materials, period.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a Bible club. Yeah, sorry. That Bible is a religious material.
Yeah.
So well done. You got the Quran banned from school. Also your Bible.
Right.
So
yeah.
So that's an interesting argument because you're right.
Facebook's kind of
they're
it's
like, hey, it's
nudity.
across the board. Yeah, period. The end. It's nudity across the board. No, and so in Brussels, they are currently flipping out on Facebook. Over a dozen top Belgian art officials wrote Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg himself because Facebook consistently rejects works of art, specifically by Peter Paul Rubens, because the imagery includes nudity. So they even produced a mock video, which we watched earlier, where security officials prevented visitors from seeing nudity in the Rubens House Museum because one of them's Adam and Eve in the garden. The biblical figures are covered only by the fig leaf. And so those have been banned. So they're hoping that a point is made here. 20% of the Facebook posts that they dedicated to the Flemish masters couldn't be shown to the audience or our cultural audience worldwide due to nudity within the paintings. They said it's really embarrassing for Visit Flanders that we cannot show one of our main assets to the world. That's why we came up with the idea for this video. Facebook has already stated we understand the issue, yet even if it allows paintings like those from Rubens to be posted, it has more restrictive rules when it comes to advertising, which must not contain any adult content, which includes nudity, depictions of people in explicit or suggestive positions, or activities that are overly suggestive or sexually provocative. So it includes in the rules nudity or implied nudity, even if it's artistic or educational in nature, thus the Adam and Eve painting with just the fig leaves, banned.
Yeah.
So that's where people are like, okay.
Yeah, my whole point is, as adults, I think we can separate that. You know, we can separate the nudity and appreciate art. 13 years old, that's the age to get a Facebook page. It's 13 years old.
Yeah.
Think about where you were at in your life when you were 13.
Exactly, because that's the thing. The museum is saying, hey, we have never gotten complaints from museum goers about the nudity in these masterpieces. And it's like, okay, but you're talking about like crusty old people who go to art museums.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Ain't nobody going to an art museum except maybe Phoenix.
Right.
So
why couldn't they just blur out, if they posted pictures on Facebook, why couldn't they just blur out some of the images?
Because
like
you're
the private
obstructing
areas?
the art. I understand
But
that.
they could use it like, hey, to see the whole thing, come down. You can check it out for yourself, you know? I mean, there's ways around it, right?
Somebody said there are many pictures showing nude women on Peter Paul Rubens' art because that was his art. So the not buying the nudity excuse on this one, it's definitely the content. Somebody said I would be bothered if Facebook banned all imagery relating to Jesus, but just the one where he's naked, not something that bothers me. I want them to keep their nudity policy, not to change it. Okay. Yeah, and again, people are saying they didn't ban any of this for the religious aspect. They banned it for the nudity, which is funny because there were multiple Christian sites that were like, Facebook is banning Jesus.
Yeah.
Guys, we need a call. You call your congressman right now. Facebook is banning Jesus. We need to band together and get Jesus back on Facebook. It's like, guys, if we could just have some context here and actually look at the situation, it's in fact one image of him nude. Yeah. So you still mad? Still mad? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. It's Mark from Tucson. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, I was thinking about what you said when you were comparing it to, like, the schools banning Bibles. The big difference between those two things is that we pay for the schools. We don't pay for Facebook.
Yeah.
And these guys are complaining that they can't put these pictures up on Facebook for the world to see. They're saying we can't put it up for the world to see. No, you can. just don't use Facebook. Facebook is not entitled to show you anything that you put up.
Good word.
They're a business.
Yeah.
They're not entitled to do this. They can do whatever they want.
This is
anyway,
true.
that's my thought.
No,
That's a good thought. Good thought.
Good point, man.
Mark and Tucson,
Thanks,
everybody.
Mark.
Love it. Matt says, with Satan being even more on the attack against our flesh, banning nudity on social media is not a bad idea, especially for those whose flesh is weak at the moment. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, going back, when I got a hold of that Native American book that the photos in it of the Native American women that were naked.
Dude, trust me, I remember.
And I was like,
I
oh my
remember-
gosh. It was
I
like first time I
remember-
saw a nude woman.
Right. Being a kid, and it was like in schools, there was like this giant debate over National Geographic.
Yeah.
Because it was geographic, yo.
Right, yeah.
And you're in 5th grade going, well, we're learning about African tribes. Whoa!
Yeah.
No!
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember those times, like being a kid, and it was like, well, we're just trying to teach them about tribes of the world. Here's some images of...
Yeah, kids don't look at it that way. They
and
just
then
see...
parents were in an uproar, rightly so, because I agree. It's not...
Mm-hmm.
So I, as a parent, I'm definitely all for the quote banning, because I don't think Facebook on their own set out to ban a Jesus painting. There's probably plenty of algorithms in place where it was like, dude parts, you know what I mean? Auto ban.
Yeah. I mean, take a look at Twitter. Twitter, they don't ban anything. You can post anything you want
That is
on
kind
Twitter.
of that is kind of odd to me. Yes. Yeah. So
You don't like Facebook's rules, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Post it on Instagram, and well, I'm sure Instagram probably has the same rules.
But I mean, I don't think we've seen the end of this argument because both sides have agreed to a meeting to discuss the topic in detail. Facebook wrote to the Associated Press this last Friday, quote, as part of a longer running and continuous review process, we want to make sure that museums and other institutions are able to share some of their most iconic paintings, end quote. So they're going to review the approach to nudity in paintings and ads on Facebook.
So what do you think, Starmy? You think Facebook should allow nudity when it comes to
paintings?
Art? Yeah, when it
classic pieces of art.
Yeah.
What's interesting is this idea of quote censorship with Rubens' paintings is nothing new. He died in 1640, but at the time the Roman Catholic Church had asked him to repaint all of his biblical imagery with loincloths over body parts.
Oh, wow.
Because they at the time said you cannot showcase Jesus in all of his earthly glory,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I say this?
Right. We get what you're throwing down, bro.
You know what I'm saying, dog?
We get it.
Skin is sin.
Skin is sin.
Skin is sin. That was the Roman Catholic Church stance in the 1640s. Signs everywhere. So, yeah.
But again, Facebook is not banning this famous picture of Jesus on the cross because it's
Christ.
Jesus. Yeah.
Right.
It's because of the nudity.
So glad we got that worked out. And it's not just Rubens as an artist. I mean, Michelangelo did the same thing, and he was asked to paint loincloths over. Yeah.
So is this painting we're looking at right now? That's the loincloth? Is that what he painted over?
That's what they had. Yeah. Yep.
But the picture that they want is it the one without the loincloth, or is this the one?
Yes, full on. Yeah, he's got his loincloth. I don't know. The directive, of course, driven by moral concern. But again, the museum is wondering if Facebook is now driven by, quote, the need to deliver a politically correct message and comply with Facebook's ad and business model to avoid any ripples, end quote. So we'll see what happens.
Bill Peterson said, I banned Jesus from showing up in my tortillas.
Okay.
Let's ban him. Put a ban on him. Snooze him for a month. Put a snooze on him. 505-338-3700. What are your thoughts? Are you okay with Facebook banning
Liveline's
this?
going crazy. somebody says they think they need to keep the ban. What happens when they say, okay, if it's art, we'll allow nudity? Next thing you know, every anime artist on the planet throwing up their art, quote unquote. Somebody else said, I definitely don't think Facebook should allow nudity at all. No matter if it's in paintings or whatever. Instagram frustrates me because they allow quite a bit of nudity unless it's, quote, sexually explicit. Okay. Gosh. Somebody says I actually tend to lean towards it being the content and religious because Facebook has allowed many pictures displaying nudity. Even after being reported, they stated it was, quote, artistic value. See, now this is going to start a whole new debate on what constitutes art, someone said. I imagine some people would argue that nude photo shoots are art. So where is the line to be drawn on this? Yeah. Again, somebody chimed in saying, no, it needs to be up to the parents to expose the children or not. It's definitely not up to Facebook. There's already so much struggle. Yeah. Somebody says, I want to make a more him, less me joke, but no, Facebook is a business. They can do what they please.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So
sooner or later, man, you just wait. You guys are taking it for granted. You guys are going to be paying a monthly subscription for Facebook pretty soon. You just wait.
Somebody says, I think this is totally fine. Going back to use the example of banning Bibles in the schools, just reversed. If Facebook now is forced to go back on their decision, then who's to say they would have to allow Playboy pictures because some people regard that as, quote, art.
Mm-hmm.
So keep the ban. I'm another member of the Stormy Chime just said in my anthropology class, we were taught that nudity has a sexual aspect, whereas nakedness pertains to having nothing. Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Kim just wants to know if Facebook can please ban Jesus chain letters. Yes.
Ooh. Can we please, Facebook? Can we please? Man, my Uncle George is the worst.
Dude, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I get a message from Uncle George like once a month. Like, if I don't share this, I'm not saved. I'm like, oh my gosh. What do I do? Should I share it just to be like, just to be safe?
Yeah. Somebody says, however, I find it ironic that a naked Jesus on the cross is the most accurate biblical depiction, but a lot of Christians would be very opposed to seeing it. That is an interesting thought because it's true, like what he's saying. I don't want to see it. Hey, I saw Passion of the Christ once. Don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
It's like Schindler's List. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
it was like,
right.
it's so real.
Mm-hmm.
What that movie did, like, it crushes you in a good way because you go, my Savior endured all of this because of his great love for me.
Yeah.
It wrecks you, but it's borderline. It's rated R.
Right, and that's that's a movie that you shouldn't let your kids watch until they're at a certain age.
Right, exact. I would never, ever show that movie to Brody, 5 years old. Here, Broads, this is how much Jesus loves you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's graphic.
Right.
So, man.
Yeah, and that's my whole point with Facebook banning nudity, even when it comes to art, is
the
kids.
mind.
13 is you can have a Facebook page at 13.
Yeah.
And even a lot of kids have Facebook pages before they're 13, even though they're not allowed to.
Mine still do not.
Yeah.
He's 14.
My kids think Facebook is dumb.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Most kids do, actually.
Yeah.
They're on Instagram.
Right? Yeah.
That's where mom and dad are at. I'm not going on there.
Yeah.
Why would I go on there? So they can watch my activity?
Man.
Yes. Yeah, Facebook banned a famous picture of Jesus for nudity.
We need to remember that. For nudity. Not for Jesus, for nudity.
Yeah, I'm just still wondering. I want to know, like, is it this the picture, even covering the privates? Did they still ban it? Because he's fully nude except for
the loincloth covering.
Yeah.
Holy of holies.
Because it would seem like that would be okay, right? I mean, I'd be okay with that up there if it's covering the privates. Would you?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that
Right.
painting that I'm looking at currently.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So I would, if that's the case, if Facebook banned that painting, then I'm confused.
Yeah.
Because I see people all the time in there. Like Bill Peterson constantly is posting pictures of himself in these string, what? These Speedos? They call them Speedos? They call them Speedos? I had to unfollow Bill because he just kept posting him in his Speedo.
I just don't think that there's, if you're looking at, depending on the source for the article, there are certain Christian publications that are like, but is it for nudity or is it for Jesus? I do not see this. I see them banning nudity. We got to be very careful these like fights we jump into.
Yeah, man. All right, thanks for chiming in. All right, when we come back, we got a letter, bro.
What?
We got a letter.
Oh, man. All right.
Apparently, this wife who emailed into the show, she's having a tough time with her husband.
Oh.
Her husband doesn't ever want to go anywhere. So we'll read the letter when we come back. You guys can chime in. 505-338-3700 to call in when we come back. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube at Star 88 FM. Hang out with us. We're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios.
This is Ground Wire with Sean Dunn.
As I was driving one day, the collection of bugs on my windshield was quite impressive. They littered the glass with all kinds of shapes and colors. I had to look through them to see the road. As I drove the freeway, I became curious. For a reason that I cannot explain, I leaned forward to look closely at their remains. When I did this, I began to drift in the road. Of course, I didn't realize that I was drifting until my tires hit the rumble marks alongside the road, warning me of approaching danger. When I heard the caution, I sat back up and gained control of the vehicle and concentrated on the road. That example has helped me learn that what I focus on will determine where I go in life. Although God should be my focus, my road. If I choose to concentrate on the circumstances, the distractions, and the frustrations of this life, I will drift off the course. However, when I take time to look towards God every day, I will more effectively traverse the roadway. As a Christian, I believe that you should fight the urge to become distracted by everything else vying for your attention. Instead, you should sit back and focus on the God who loves you. You will like where that road takes you.
To find out more, click on groundwire.net. Groundwire.net. A supernova on Star 88 with David Jeremiah.
Wisdom is forged in the fire of mourning and trouble and difficulty. But fools in a frivolous and carefree manner are never learning from the experiences of life. When wise men and women face adversity like death and disease and destruction, as we've seen so much of it in these days, they take to heart the lessons learned and they become better instead of bitter. It is a choice that is made in the heart. Why is sorrow better than laughter? Because a person who is laughing is not really facing reality. A person who is frivolous and filled with joy and jumping around and partying and having all of this, most of the time it is an exercise to deaden the pain of an empty life.
Turning Point with David Jeremiah. Don't miss it on our sister station, KNKT, weekdays at 11 a.m. on 107.1 FM. Star 88, real radio for real life on KLYT, Albuquerque, Santa Fe.
I know the fight I'm facing is no surprise to you. This time's not lost or wasted, but I forget. Underwater like I'm drowning, can't seem to catch my breath. I know this fear that found me is powerless.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
We choose to express ourselves through music.
Open wide, blinded eyes, giants fall, dead men rise, sickness healed at the mention of you. Sinners chains breaking free, miracles still happening, waters part, I see mountains move. No other name carries the power to save, crushes the power of the grave, but Jesus, open arms on the cross, oh the pain, oh the cost, by your blood, all things are made new. All my chains breaking free, miracles still happening. Nothing is impossible with you. No other name carries the power to save, crushes the power of the grave, but Jesus. No other hope can silence the fear in our souls. Our Savior is King over all. Jesus, I can see strongholds coming down. I can see strongholds coming down. I can see Jesus reaching out, reaching out. I can see strongholds coming down. I can see strongholds coming down. I can see Jesus reaching out, reaching out. No other name carries the power to save, can set every darkness ablaze, but Jesus. No other name carries the power to save, crushes the power of the grave, but Jesus. No other hope can silence the fear in our souls. Our Savior is King over all. Jesus. No other
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
It's the Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Live from the Dreamstar Remodeling, Star 88 Studios, Dex and Steve-O. Good morning. What's going down? Morning, Facebook, YouTube. We're live at Star 88 FM. Morning, Kevin. TSB 1237. What's up, Matthew? Hanging out on YouTube. Yeah, we upload the show Monday through Friday, so you guys can go back, get caught up. Hang out with us. 505-338-3700 is the number if you'd like to chime in. We also have a live line number. What is that?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
You can join Calvary Chapel Rio Rancho for an afterglow on Sunday, August 5th at 4:30. It's going to be worship, prayer, fellowship, all the details at star88.fm. That's cool. Afterglow. Man, fall is right there, guys.
How crazy is this?
You guys ready? Are you guys ready for Balloon Fiesta? Halloween?
You mean
everything?
Hallelujah Night.
Hallelujah Night?
Yes.
Everything is pumpkin spice. Okay, you guys ready? Ready for that? I am. Fall has a smell, and I can smell it. It's right there. So excited. School starts back up. 2 weeks. That's crazy, right? Summer's always weird.
What about the fair, bro?
Oh, the fair?
fair.
I haven't been to the fair in years.
Thanks, curmudgeon. Yeah.
I haven't been to the fair in years.
Paul says, are you ready for some football?
Yeah,
August,
football.
bro.
Football kicks off.
Hey, if you missed it, tomorrow, 8:10 a.m., we will be interviewing the one and only Tony Dungy. Him and his wife, Lauren, are going to be on the show tomorrow. Rap a little bit.
So he coached the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Also the Indianapolis Colts.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Steve was going to ask him if he can be a Raider.
Yeah.
Get his blessing. 8:10 tomorrow. Oh, gosh darn it. My hand slipped.
Okay.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
We love letters.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we like handwritten letters. Send those in. Good morning. I'm just looking for some advice. My husband and I are going on 7 years of marriage. We are 28 and 30. Well, over the past, 5 years, my husband has slowly gotten to a point where he never wants to go anywhere with me. Out of town, nothing. He always acts like he does, then it comes down to it, and he won't. He'll change his mind. He likes to tell me what I want to hear. For example, camping with my family, he came home the day we were supposed to leave, and he was cranky and didn't want to go. And I had to be okay with him not going. Anytime we're supposed to go stay at my sister's for the weekend, I end up going by myself. I even went to Colorado by myself and San Diego. I'm starting to feel like one day I'll go out and not want to go back home to him.
Oh, gosh.
What can I say or do to help out this situation? Because I'm at the edge. I know there isn't any cheating going on or nothing like that. He just doesn't like to deal with people anymore, and I can't help but think I'm not getting any younger. But the thought of leaving my husband sounds complicated and heartbreaking. So maybe you're in this situation right now. Maybe you've been in this situation. Chime in. Give this wife some advice, Starmy. 505-338-3700. Call in. Because I'm sure, this has to be a normal thing.
Yeah.
I can relate to this as an introvert.
To some extent.
Yeah, because
maybe not to the hey, my husband's really boring, I want to leave him extent. That's what it sounded like to me anyways.
Well, it sounds like she's just at that breaking point because she has gone on so many trips without him.
Alone?
Yeah, alone. That's tough.
Yeah.
When you're married, you love your partner, You want to be with them. You want them to experience those things with you. And if he's not wanting to go because he doesn't want to be around people. See, as an introvert, if I can have somebody get me out of the house, I'm always glad that they did. I always have a good time wherever I'm at. And I'm like, gosh, I'm so glad I left the house. I don't know if I can't say that for everybody, but I think that's
there's some anxiety that can come along with it, like the unknown and who's going to be there? Am I going to have to be on, if you will? And I have those times. I definitely have those times. Sadly and honestly, especially when it comes to big family gatherings. Like she mentioned the camping with the family. He came home the day we were supposed to leave and he was cranky and didn't want to go. I had to be okay with him not going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. Or supposed to stay at my sister's for the weekend.
Yep.
End up going by myself. Went to Colorado by myself, San Diego. It's like, but why are you getting away so much?
Yes, you are. You're
It
leading
doesn't
a
sound
lot.
like they have kids, right?
Doesn't sound like it.
Going on
they're
7 years of
28
marriage?
and 30 years
Okay.
old, so they're young.
Man, he's 28 or 30 and just doesn't want to leave the house, huh?
Doesn't want to. He doesn't like to deal with people anymore. And here's this wife who likes to go out and probably sounds like she likes to be around people.
Sounds like she likes to be around her family a lot. Somebody chimed in and said, the very first comment, maybe she should start planning more trips that don't involve her family.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
the
that's
first
it.
thing I thought of. It's like, wanted to go camping with the whole family. Went away to my sister's for the weekend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Somebody says, maybe you need to suggest things to do alone together without everyone else involved.
There you go.
Agree with that?
Yeah. But it very well could be that he just doesn't like to go out and do things anymore.
And that's what Curmudgeon said. Sounds like me. I do not do large crowds well. Thief said, Ashley went to San Diego and Colorado without me. Also camping in San Diego with her family. Should I be worried?
Ooh, this might be her. I think she
oh my
emailed
God.
the show.
And I looked at the name and my heart stopped for a second. Then I realized, oh, it's a different name.
Okay.
Almost said the name. Won't say your name. Sorry, Stormy, remember?
That's funny.
No, it is not. No, it is not your wife. That was crazy though.
Maybe she disguised her name though. Maybe she gave us a
Just
fake name.
Stuck with the A theme. But
Yeah.
changed it.
Maybe you need to check into this. I don't know. You need to get out of the house more.
Somebody says marriage counseling. He sounds like there's more to this. Like really burnt out. Landra says, has she told him how she feels? She should tell him how his actions make her feel.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? This husband doesn't like to go out, and it does sound like it's mostly family stuff. That
Yeah. Well, Kim
she's-
says, but what's wrong with doing things with your family? Nothing's wrong with doing
wrong.
things with your family, but I will say this: it can be overbearing when it's constantly one spouse's family all the time, all the gatherings, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, like, because my mom lives so far away, no dad. When we do family gathering type things, it is always Chrissy's family. And there's like that give and take. It's 50-50. I definitely enjoy doing it. But I also want to do things for us. Like it used to be the family camping and the family this and that. And then it was like, hey, can we make some Jeter family memories? Like, can we do some things that are just like just us? Can we do this?
Yeah.
Without everybody else being involved?
Yeah, I've been in that situation before, for sure.
So, Cameron says, my boyfriend of 6 years is just the same. What I've learned and some advice his mother has given me is that it comes down to phrasing. Like saying, I'd like it if, or, you know what would make me happy? Makes a world of difference. A man who loves his wife will always try to make her happy.
Yeah, I guess what's frustrating for this wife is he'll act like he wants to go. Like he'll commit to going on these trips.
Yeah.
And then the day before, the day of, hey, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it. Just why don't you just go ahead? And that's got to be frustrating.
Yeah. See, Albert says it would be good to know if it's just for events that involve her family. You know what I mean? Like family gatherings, because there is definitely such a thing as too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is true.
Britt just wants to know if this girl is Hispanic, yo.
I don't
Large
know.
family.
Don't know. Yeah, that's why we definitely like it when you guys call in so we can talk to you. But, I mean, I get
Somebody
it.
says, last I heard, girls don't tell guys how they feel. They just expect them to figure it out.
Oh.
Maybe talk to your husband.
That's true, right?
Another member of the Army says, we go to El Paso on a regular basis to visit family. My wife's grandparents are always on the list. They speak as much English as I do Spanish. Grandpa always wants to be a good host, but we can't communicate very well. It's always a long, awkward lunch. I'm not a huge fan of crowds, but You need to stretch your comfort zone for your family. Another member of the Stormy says, I agree more that the issue is that she is always wanting to go out with her family. Plan a weekend getaway for just the two of you. Maybe Pagosa Springs, awesome place to do lots of stuff, still kind of secluded. Somebody else says it sounds like he's depressed.
Could be,
Maybe he needs counseling because not wanting to go anywhere. We've been in those times in our lives, those slumps where you're just kind of at a bad place.
Yeah.
Somebody else says, man, this sure sounds like it's all her and her family.
Wow.
Yeah. Somebody says, give him the task of planning an outing. Let him do it. Let him pick
that's
something
a good call.
that he would like to do.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you know what would make me really happy?
Well, then what if he goes, the day that they're supposed to go and do something, he's like, you know what? I kind of just don't feel like it.
I know what that's like. Remember the Starman chimed in and said, plot twist, it's a letter from Steve-O to Dex.
Oh. Come on, man. I'd go out with you.
Sure.
I was waiting for you and Joe Hawk to hit me up on Sunday.
I know.
Didn't hear from you.
I know.
Just waiting.
Wait, I forgot about
Kept checking my phone. Oh.
I know. And then you even called me. And you're like, are you home? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm at a fundraiser and you want to hang out?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You called me on a Sunday? I was like, he's either dying or he's dying. Why is he calling me on a Sunday?
I seriously was dying. I needed water.
He actually was.
I needed water.
Right by your house. We're riding bikes. Bill's already like half a mile ahead of me. I need some water.
It's fine. I actually jumped in your backyard and Rocket let me
just
take
use
some
the
of
water
his
hose.
Water bowl. I just drank out of his water.
Okay.
All right, here's the topic, okay? My partner doesn't ever want to fill in the blank. My partner doesn't ever want to.
What if you're like the husband, though, and it's like, my partner always wants to fill in the blank?
Okay, sure.
Are you kidding me?
You could do it that way, too.
Because I think maybe, clearly communication is key in any relationship. They need to discuss this. She needs to talk to him about it. Because maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe just by reading the letter, maybe he feels like it's all about her.
Yeah.
And what she wants to do all the time.
It does sound like
and her
family all the time.
And maybe it's just a lot.
Yeah.
You know? If it's all about sacrifice, that take both parties. Like maybe she needs to sacrifice a little something instead of going away for the weekend all by herself to Colorado, to San Diego, to camping trips and all these things.
Man, it must be nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Just getting out of town.
Maybe it's like, okay, you know what? What would you like to do? Britt says, my partner never wants to ... rub my feet while feeding me grapes. I mean, come on, dude.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one. Yep.
She's also siding with the wife saying, but did he know that going into the marriage? Because I told Seth before getting married that I love family bonding. I always make plans with both sides. We even come together to do things. So that's true.
Yeah.
Like, what if he knew she loves hanging with the family all the time?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's still got to be give there. Because you are husband and wife. You are family.
Yeah.
Y'all need to figure it out.
Yeah, we got this letter. This wife, she said they've been married 7 years. They're 28 and 30. And for the past 5 years, my husband has gotten to this point where he never wants to go anywhere with me, out of town for the weekend. She does mention family a lot. You know, she gives some examples of camping with family. And then he always has excuses the day of they're supposed to go. He'll always be like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. You could just go ahead. Or they were supposed to go stay at her sister's for the weekend, and she ends up going by herself. So a lot of it seems like it's family, but we don't know for sure if it's all family all the time. But, yeah, what do you do in this situation? Here's a wife who's, like, really contemplating leaving her husband.
Which is just crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, isn't that something that you just kind of... I mean, you definitely, I know, marriage counseling is a must.
There's got to be more to it because it's like, my husband doesn't like going camping. I'm leaving him. There's got to be more to this.
I'm young and I just can't.
Remember, the Starmy wants to know if she's asked him why. He himself, an introvert. I travel for work I don't like getting out either, but we plan stuff together, so I'm not overwhelmed and will actually enjoy the trip. Maybe plan stuff together instead of making all of his plans.
Okay.
Because another member of the Stormy says, this guy sounds a lot like me. I don't like being around people once I get in a certain mood, even if I already agreed to go. I'll try and get out of it. I got to the point where we would argue all the time over it, all of the time. She started to get her own friends, and I was okay with that, until we grew so far apart we didn't know each other anymore. This may be an extreme case, but we are going through a divorce. We were also married 7 years.
I was in a relationship when I was 21. The girlfriend that I had at the time, she started hanging out with the group of people that she'd never invite me. I guess that's what was different. She would never invite me, but I would always hear all these stories. She'd always say, "Oh my gosh, so and so," and I'd be like, "Oh, it'd be cool if I could meet them." Yeah, guess what? She was cheating.
Yeah, and
there's a reason why.
Okay, listen, we're going like extreme with the Starmie letter, but another member of the Starmie is pointing out something very vital, and I'm like, man, maybe there is a lot more to the story. That's usually the case. Did she say in the letter she didn't want to get divorced because it sounded, quote, complicated? Shouldn't it be because, like, she loves him or something like that? LOL, she basic, yo.
The thought of leaving my husband sounds complicated and heartbreaking. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds complicated.
It's very
like their
complicated.
weekend plans. So much complications. So many things to prep and plan.
Yeah.
Who gets the curio cabinet? For instance, just so complicated. Never mind that you're tearing apart a marriage.
Well, it's
curio cabinets, am I right? They get you every time. Every time. Thebes says this is the difference between extroverts and introverts. A must know for couples like that.
Yeah, I think try a few of the pieces of advice that came in. I like the one that we talked about. Make him plan the next trip.
Yeah.
Just see what he does.
Yeah.
See how he acts.
Ralph said after the first couple of years of marriage, my ex-wife would get home from work on a Friday evening and not get out of bed until Monday morning, just sit in bed and watch Netflix all weekend. Let me reiterate, my ex-wife. You guys need to go to counseling. Need to talk to somebody. Need to get real about it. You need to have a conversation with him. I mean, for real, if you're to a place where you're contemplating leaving him because he doesn't want to go to San Diego for the weekend, we need more information. Somebody said, is he the kind of person who backs out on all sorts of other commitments as well? I imagine she's dealt with his lack of following through in other areas of life. Maybe she's just frustrated. Maybe she's just done.
What if it's you, the wife? What if he's just having a hard time connecting with you and just doesn't want to hang out with you?
Well, there's something to be said about this, though, because Mark in Tucson chimed in and said the husband does need to stop breaking the trend of backing out after committing. You have to keep your commitment. Scripture says, let your yes be yes, your no be no. And after so many times of somebody saying they're going to do something and then backing out, it becomes exhausting. And you're like, you know what? I'm not going to plan anything with you anymore because I'm tired of being bummed out,
Right.
Number two, they said the girl wants to go out where he wants to go out. Somebody else said, why did you sit on this for 5 years? You are now bitter and are harboring hatred. A marriage needs to be regularly fed from both directions. You need to sit down together, talk about it. A string of 3 threads cannot be broken. Somebody else said this is not a reason for divorce. Yeah. Somebody said, LOL, divorce is just too complicated. Translation, it's cheaper to just stay married.
Yeah. Thank you for the letter. I hope we helped you. I hope you'll take that and you'll go get some counseling.
Yep.
It sounds like you both need it.
And have a conversation, for real.
Yeah.
Find out what's going on. Talk about it, because clearly it's upsetting.
Yeah, it's kind of been the norm.
Like, I think
5
I'm
years.
done.
Yeah, 5 years of letting your husband act this way, pull him out of it.
Somebody said one thing that definitely happens in our culture, people getting married really young before the two actually know who they are. It makes life difficult.
Yeah, so they were around 23 when they got married.
No, that's right, because they're 28.
Actually, 23, 21, actually.
21
7 years they've been married. Wow.
7 years, so 21 and 23 when they got married.
Yeah, see, that's young. Maybe that's what maybe that's what he just likes to do now. Maybe he just likes to just be at home.
That's hard.
Some people are just
especially
like
for an extrovert who wants to go out, who clearly has been making a lot of plans. Colorado, San
That's why you
Diego,
got to make those
camping.
sacrifices, man. Sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do.
Somebody else just wants to know what they do for a living. How do they afford all these vacations?
Credit cards, man.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they have a good job.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for the letter. I hope we helped. Keep us updated on what happened or give us more details.
Yeah.
You guys can always chime in. Studio at star88.fm. We're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. You know, maybe you want to chime in with that topic. My partner doesn't ever want to, or what was the one that you flipped around?
Always wants to.
Always wants to.
Because it seems like she's always trying to plan something for them.
505-338-3700 if you'd like to call in. We'll be right back. Hang out.
This is a fresh thought. Listen up to Levi Lusko.
If you are disciplined today, you will be more disciplined still. What I'm trying to get you to see is that, and by the way, this makes the selection of a spouse so important. Most people are looking for the wrong things. They're looking at the flower, being fooled by the grass, and are not understanding that the things that are the invisible attributes etched on the inside of the soul. But this isn't a sermon on swiping right. This is a sermon on who we're going to be 5 years from now. You see, time, listen to me, doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you are and makes you more of who you are. Time isn't going to change you. I'm going to be different in the future. No, you're going to be exactly like you are making choices today, just more set in those ways.
For more fresh thoughts, go to LeviLusko.com. J. Vernon McGee said, "We either crucify or crown Jesus by our lives." That's the Solar Flare on Star 88. Here's Chris Hodges with a challenge to live a reproducing spiritual life.
God builds his kingdom through relational connections. You need to know that. Say it this way. The work that God is doing on the planet right now, he's doing it, his plan is doing it through relational connections. That's how it's going to happen. People don't get fed because of ideas. They don't get fed because of offerings. They get fed because generations of people pass down that burden and that skill set and that idea, and it happens through relational connections. All the kingdom of God is being birthed through relational connections. It happens generationally, and if you're going to be a devoted follower of Christ, you need to know that that's God's plan. And that's not only God's plan like for the earth, but that's God's plan for you. Let me say it this way. So when God sees you, he doesn't see just you. He sees the generations of people that you can impact.
That's Chris Hodges and a Star 88 PowerPoint.
Feeling the pressure, the rumbling, crumbling under your feet now. No one can protect you. The trembling, settling into your knees. Nah, nothing that you could say. Nah, no way to get away. Chasing the will to be better than anyone ever, and we'll never stop. Here we go. You better grab your weapons. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. Here we go. You know we're taking over. To the top now, to the top. Here we come. Here we come. Taking the record, you're bringing it up, but we're taking it higher. Catching your breath, you're trying your best, but you know that we're stronger. Nah, nothing that you could say. Nah, no way to get away. Chasing the world to be better than anyone ever, and we'll never stop. Here we go. You better grab your weapons. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. Here we go. You know we're taking over. To the top now, to the top. Here we go. You run, but you can't hide from us. You run, but you can't hide from us. Rumors of war will knock at your door. Rumors of war will knock at your door. Rumors of war will knock at your door. Here we go. Here we Here we go. You better grab your weapons. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. Here we go. You know we're taking over. To the top now, to the top. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, what's going on in the news today?
State of emergency in California as wildfires rage in the West.
The death toll now rising to 6.
President Trump threatening to shut down the government if he doesn't get a border wall.
Sexual misconduct allegations involving CBS Chairman Les Moonves, reporting the CBS Board of Directors may name a special committee to oversee an internal investigation.
New video showing a deadly scene in Pennsylvania. Police gunning down a suspect on the side of a busy road.
In Missouri, a distracted police officer driving right into a cyclist. Missouri Highway Patrol confirming distraction contributed to that accident. The officer suspended with pay.
TSA program where passengers are secretly being watched on the plane and after they land without even knowing. The program is called Quiet Skies.
Actor Ving Rhames just went public about a confrontational moment with police in his own home.
Said a large black man was breaking into the house.
Mission Impossible Fallout made more than $61 million. That's the biggest opening yet for the series.
Good morning. Welcome to Monday, guys. How we doing? Dex and Steve-O. Live from the Dreamstar Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Oh, man, you guys can chime in. We were just talking about this letter that we got. Her husband doesn't ever want to go anywhere. For 5 years now, every time she plans to trip, and in the letter she talks a lot about going out with her family, so we don't know specifically if that's every time or... But let's just say the husband just doesn't ever want to go anywhere with her. It's tough. A lot of you guys are in the same situation. It's tough. What do? You get counseling. Sometimes, you don't know. You don't know if you need to work on something. You're not going to communicate. I
had a good friend say this recently. A lot of times, counseling has a negative connotation, like you need to talk to somebody. Well, I'm not crazy. I don't need counseling. And he said what's always funny to me is it's usually his Christian friends who are like, therapist? What? That's crazy. No way. Why would I need therapy? When our faith is founded upon God saying you are broken, you are sinful, you are broken, you've got like that flesh battling the spirit, and there's a constant war going on, and there is definitely something wrong with you, right? This is the eternal fix only by grace through faith, right? And yet when somebody mentions counseling or something, it's like, there's nothing wrong with me.
You're the problem.
There's something wrong with you. I ain't the problem. It's like, man, we're all broken. We could all use to like talk to somebody.
Right?
Yeah, man.
I get it, man. Yeah. I remember going to counseling and having that same outlook on it. Like, oh my gosh. I just know that the therapist is so going to have my side. And it was like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
You just don't really understand.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
Somebody says, I got married before my 21st birthday, had 2 kids after being married. I regret not getting to know my ex-wife and her personality better. Before, life would have gotten more complicated. She would plan an annual trip to California. I would go into panic mode every time she planned going, and even during the vacation. I like to say she liked life experiences doing fun stuff. I miss it all now that we are not together. I feel like I missed out on great moments by being uptight about everything and letting my social anxiety ruin me. Even if he dislikes being around her family, he should be there. It's a simple and small thing to do for her to keep her happy.
Okay.
On the flip side, somebody else chimed in and said, but maybe he's just tired and doesn't want to do anything after working all of the time like a dog to pay for her to keep going on all these crazy trips.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah, maybe. I actually had a friend that was in a situation like that. And it was, husband worked just crazy hours, like 80 hours a week or something. And then the last thing he'd want to do is go out and go crazy with the family on these crazy trips.
Yeah.
He wanted to just chill at home. But the wife, she never got to spend time with the husband because he's working 80 hours a week. So she just wanted to go do something fun.
Right.
That's tough.
It's really tough.
Maybe you guys should just, start new lives, I mean.
Okay, shut up. Don't be funny. We just got in trouble for that. Thanks, bro. Good job.
I got in trouble?
Yeah, way to go. I just know it.
Oh, we just got written up?
Yeah. He jokingly said maybe.
Well.
Can't do
There's
that.
a long list, bro. Then you know what? I'm already in trouble, so just keep writing them down.
He was a good friend.
He was a good friend.
Hello?
Oh, what? Is this my dad? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, is this the radio station?
It is. Go ahead, Dad.
Oh, no, this is, I'm Robert, but I had a request a month ago. I know the name of the band that does that song now.
Robert.
Yes.
What?
That was a month ago.
You requested a song a month ago, but you didn't know the name of the artist, and now you're back to tell us. How did you find the name of the artist?
I talked to Brian Nixon, and he knew the band that did the song.
He did.
He knows everything.
Wow.
I am not surprised.
I've been waiting to hear
for a month.
Yeah, it's been.
How was your July?
I've lost sleep over this.
Was it a good July?
July?
Yeah, you know, the month that we're in.
This is my dad.
Yeah, July's kind of almost gone. August is on the way, yeah.
Yeah, how was July?
July went along, you know, I'm on my way to work, but July kind of got lost somewhere.
It did. Yeah, well, you were searching for that song.
That's true. You were on a hunt. You finally found what you're looking for.
Yeah.
What's the song you wanted to hear?
It was the Good Shepherd song. And that the band is Wovenhand, W-O-V-E-N.
Isn't that what we said?
H-A-N.
Wovenhand.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
So
I think we said that.
Did you get? And you got? So you got it? Did you buy it?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was Wolverine back then. I had the wrong name.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. It was kind of a basketball team, but it's Woven.
I'm pretty sure my dad's pranking us right now.
No, this is Robert.
No, I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's great, man. So, what was what? Can you pinpoint one thing in July that happened that was pretty big?
July, yes. Well, we're at the store selling furniture, and they're trying to figure out what to do with the store, whether to close it or lease it out or whatever. But, you know, I go to church there regularly, so do you want me to tell you about a sermon that I heard, or what do you want to know?
I just want to know about your July because we haven't heard from you in a month, and you know, a whole month flies by, and the bullet points. What big happened in July? Everybody missed you, Robert. Everybody missed you.
Yeah, I know. July, I forgot about. I don't remember anything about it.
Wow.
That's cool. You do you, boo.
That's what happens when you get old, Robert.
Yeah, I'm 66. Yeah.
That's cool, man. July.
Are you all? I'm just wondering now if I called at the right time. Are you all taking requests?
Sure,
Robert.
I mean, we're a talk morning show. We don't play a whole lot of music.
Robert, let me ask you a question. How long have you been listening to the Morning Invasion?
Well, you started playing this song that I'm requesting 3 years ago.
Robert, I need you to answer the
3
question.
3 years ago. He's answering it in his own way.
Okay.
Shut up, Dad.
So I've been kind of listening for about 3 years, 3 or 4 years. And is this the Steve-O show?
This is the Steve-O show.
This is my
I
dad.
am Steve-O. Welcome to it.
The Steve-O show. You don't listen very well, do you?
Yes,
Robert?
he does. Robert listens incredibly well.
Robert, when have you ever heard us take requests on the show? Or even on the station?
We take requests.
I don't know, do we?
Oh, you mean I got it all wrong. You don't take requests.
Well, we do now.
No,
we do now. This is the Steve-O show, and on the Steve-O show, we'll take your requests, Robert.
I think you live on another planet.
What's your favorite part about the Steve-O show?
Is there another dimension that you like tap into, and there's like
I just want to know. Let him answer. It's an important question. What would you say? Favorite part of the Steve-O show? July was a blur, but you've been listening for 3 years. You can give us some bullet points.
Well, sometimes you talk about relationships. Sometimes you have people call in. Sometimes you have guest speakers like Brian Nixon and Nate. I've heard Brian talk about things he believed in about the church and some false teachers.
Yeah.
And people that he didn't like.
Yeah. I mean,
he does that a lot.
He likes people though. He likes a lot of people. He talks about people he likes too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has his doctorate in something.
Man, he does.
The Steve-O show, huh?
The Steve-O show.
Oh.
Branded by Robert.
Yeah.
You're the man, Robert. Thank you so much.
Well.
Okay, so are we going to get the song on, or is that not going to happen?
No.
Yes.
No,
Oh, it's gonna happen.
I can't do that. You know, I just maybe on the Steve-O show he can, but
oh man,
this is the Dex and Steve-O
coming up
show,
on the Steve-O
so-
show. Woven Hand.
Ooh.
The song is Good Shepherd.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
at least we got that far with it. At least we found the name of the band,
At least
and at
we
least we
did.
can know the name of the song, and at least we talked to Brian Nixon, so we got that far.
that is true. And my guest, sometimes my guest on the show, Dex over here to my left. He's probably my favorite guest on the show.
Oh, thanks, man.
On the Steve-O show.
That's
but
cool.
yeah. So
Now you say your dad. Who's dad?
Dex's dad.
Yeah.
Oh, Dexter. Okay, I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I'm sorry. I'll do okay the rest of the morning.
Yeah, you too, Robert. You too.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks so much.
All right, man.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Was that your dad? Sounded
I'm
exactly
pretty
like
sure my dad's prank calling us now. I think he figured out. Like
He does sound kind of like your dad.
He's retired now, and is like, I'm gonna prank these guys.
People were losing their minds on Facebook.
What the heck? That sounded just like my dad.
I mean, it did kind of sound like your dad. It really did. Are we in a parallel universe?
No, I'm pretty sure he tapped into some other universe.
It's the
Some
Steve-O
other
show.
Dimension where there's another show quite like ours, but just with you.
I can't wait till I'm old and I can prank call Brody's morning show.
I would all the time, right?
I know.
My kids did a morning show. I would prank them
Gosh.
all the time.
I wish we had caller ID. That sounded like your dad.
It really did. Yeah.
Good times.
There's a lot of strange people out there.
But
I can say
I
that
will
'cause he's not
say
listening.
your dad does not know anything about Woven Hand. He's got to be a real person.
He said it was Wolverine.
Woven Hand was an artist we played a couple years ago. Got a song called Good Shepherd.
Wow. All right. What were we talking about before Robert called in?
Well, a relationship letter we got.
the
but,
relationship letter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even know where to go from here.
I know, right?
Jeez.
Phone call completely derailed us. Hey, guys, did you know that Calvary Church Albuquerque has life courses kicking off on August 20th?
That's where you want to go. Huh?
Life courses are in-depth Bible study classes that will challenge you and encourage your spiritual growth. Courses include biblical discipleship, growing through grief, building a better marriage, divorce care, introduction to theology, women living without abuse. Check out calvaryabq.org for more.
Okay.
So just hard sag.
Well,
just go hard sag.
Since we were talking about relationships and how hard they are, I would like to share this story real quick before we go to break, because if you think you are having a tough go of it in your relationship,
yeah,
let's hear about Jeff and Angela's situation.
Oh no, good old Jeff and Angie.
Jeff and Angie been together for more than 17 years.
Oh wow, good job, guys.
And the couple is still getting to know each other.
Oh yeah.
After a terrible accident.
Okay.
Angela lost all her memories from at least 15 years of her life. Now this husband dated wife after accident to see if he could reclaim their Angela.
My gosh, could you imagine how hard that would be?
This was a movie. What movie was this?
50 First Dates? No, it was different. That was different.
There
This
was another movie that this happened with.
Yeah.
And somebody will chime in with it. Yeah. So this woman, Angela, she suffered a traumatic brain injury, was left in a coma for a month. When Angie woke up, she believed she was still married to her first husband.
Oh, no.
And that her children were still only 2 and 8 years old. In reality, her first husband had passed away many years ago. She was remarried, and her children were now grown adults. And worst of all, Angela could not remember her current husband, Jeff. She did not even remember ever meeting, much less marrying the man who she had been with for nearly 2 decades. Now, a lot of people probably would have just given up, right? Jeff saw this as a blessing. He said, how many times have we said, I wish I could go back and do something over again? I've gotten to do that, he said. Think about that. Think about that.
That would be so rough, though. She wakes up and she thinks she's married to her ex-husband.
Yeah. Yep. To start off, he put up pictures of their life together all over the house. Then he decided to start dating his wife again. They learned to get to know each other all over again, and Jeff never left her side. Well, Angela eventually fell in love with this amazing man all over again, and they decided to celebrate their love in a special way. They renewed their vows in front of all of their family and friends, and it's truly a love story like no other.
Are you crying?
How crazy is that? He had to date his wife again. She was freaking out. Who's this guy? And where's my husband? Where are my kids that are 2 and 8 years old?
Imagine how heartbreaking that has to be, though, for the husband.
Yeah.
Incredible story of not giving up. Christy's grandmother broke her hip, sadly.
Grandma Precious?
Yeah. She broke her hip and she had surgery. And she's 90.
Yeah.
And so her brain, right? Doing some funny things. And so she's currently in a rehab facility, but keeps forgetting why she's there. And we went to hang out with her over the weekend. And there were grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and she just,
Yeah.
She remembered Brody.
Yeah.
And they were laughing and telling stories and stuff. And I just kept thinking about, like, other family members, like her own son.
Yeah.
Just different family members who, like, she forgot, but then would remember later. And how hard that is. Because you're like, no.
Right.
Imagine your wife waking up and thinking she was still married to her ex-husband and does not remember you.
Yep.
There's gotta be, like, he needs a medal.
Yeah, I mean,
is there a marriage medal we can
him.
give this dude?
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, The Notebook. There was another movie that was similar. Was it The Vow? Was that what it was?
The Vow with Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams.
That's right. Yeah. Same thing happened. That was based on a true story as well.
They were, yeah.
Wife got into a car accident, had to start over.
Oh.
Yeah, what if the wife doesn't choose you after that?
Right.
Oh, that'd be terrible. Yeah, but I love how he put it, you know? He looked at it as a blessing. He said, how many times have we said, I wish I could go back and do something over again?
Yeah.
And he got to do it.
Yeah. Man.
All right, we got to take a break. You guys can chime in. We're hanging out on Facebook and YouTube Live at Star 88 FM. We're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling, Star 88 Studios. Hang out.
How can you be certain God's working in your life? Well, James McDonald has a word just for you. So listen up.
Peace is the calm assurance that what God is doing is best. No matter what I see, no matter what I feel, there's a God who is ruling over the universe. And he's in control of everything, and he is working even the bad things that happen. He's working them for the good of those that love him. So peace is that calm assurance that what God is doing is best, that God is in control, that he can be trusted, that his promises are true.
That's Listen Up from James McDonald. You can learn more about cultivating your relationship with God by going to jamesmcdonald.com. Listen Up is a production of Walk in the Word.
A Star 88 Supernova. Here's Rick Warren.
Why spend your money on food that doesn't give you strength and does you no good? Listen, I'll tell you where to get food that's good for the soul. He said, now you can spend your money on junk food or soul food, okay? This is soul food. It's food for your soul. Some of that stuff's just empty calories. But he says, this is soul food. It's going to help you grow. Look at the next verse. It is better, much better, to have wisdom and knowledge than gold or silver. You know, don't pile up all your wealth just to have it all piled up. He says use it. And one of the ways you can use it is to get wisdom and knowledge, not silver and gold. You see, money, listen, this is really profound. Money is a lot like fertilizer, okay? If you pile it all up, it just starts stinking.
Catch Rick Warren's Daily Hope on KNKT 107.1 weekdays at 7:30 a.m. This is KLYT Albuquerque, Santa Fe, rebroadcast on KKCJ, Cannon Air Force Base, KPKJ, Mintmore, K201CC, Las Cruces, K203EZ, Alamogordo, K207CQ, Gallup, K211CW, Hobbs, K212EH, Silver City, K214DE, Antonito, K218AK, Artesia, K250AB, Roswell, K293AO, Alamosa, K228DQ, Portales, in the free app for iOS and Android, and online at star88.fm.
keep on running. Fathers, mothers, keep on loving. Fighters, soldiers, hold your weapons and lay your back on me, lay your back on me. Brothers, sisters, keep on reaching. Fathers, mothers, keep on dreaming. Fighters, soldiers, drop your weapons and lay your back on me, lay your back on me.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
You're underselling it, which means it's awesome and I want in.
It's the Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O on Star 88.
And welcome back to the program, everybody. Good morning. Dex and Steve-O, live from the Dreamstar Remodeling Star 88 studios.
Oh, hey, guys.
Before we move on, I want to wish somebody a happy birthday. I'm actually wearing a shirt today because this man, he, I don't want to say raised me, but I definitely looked up to this. You know what this shirt is?
I have no idea what that is.
You know what movie this is from?
No.
The Running Man, bro.
Oh, okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
The Running Man?
Yeah, got it.
80s?
Right.
When because the Petersons got me this shirt, when he handed it to me, I'm like, ISIS? You got me an ISIS t-shirt?
What is wrong with you?
I didn't even know what it was, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's
By the way,
right.
I just want to point out that film is rated R, and we are not condoning it in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
You just wanted to seg into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I want to be
It's his
careful
birthday
so that
today.
nobody goes out and looks up this movie from 1987 because you were saying it as an aside, but it might be taken.
Yes. But I'm wearing this shirt because Arnold Schwarzenegger turns 71 today, and he's still doing Terminator movies.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
You know what is interesting about that film? Again, not condoning it in any way, shape, or form. The idea of the film was that America was in this place where everything was on television and everything was basically allowed.
Yeah.
It's almost the culture we're in.
Yeah.
Where it was this reality TV show where they would put, were they prisoners?
Yeah.
I kind of remember it. I mean, again, it was like from the 80s. And they would put them in this reality TV show where if they survived, they won their freedom.
Yeah.
But everybody's like getting killed.
Nobody was, no con is
it was
ever
kind of rigged
beat one of the characters.
To kill them because they
yeah,
were
and the
all
contestant could pick which character they wanted. They had the guy with the chainsaw. They had the guy with the flamethrower.
Basically, it was like this scapegoat by the government to like take out criminals who had the death penalty on them in a, quote, fun way. You know what year that movie was set in? This dystopian future?
We just watched it like 2 months ago. Wasn't it 2023?
In the year 2019.
2019? Jeez.
This dystopian future where everything is on television and you're watching people get murdered.
Yeah.
And it's all acceptable. Isn't it crazy to think that it's 2018 and they're not far off from where we actually are? It's pretty tragic when you think about that. I mean, this morning we were talking about Facebook and censorship and everything like that. And if you missed that, catch it on demand.
But I don't know. We're still pretty far off from people murdering other people on television, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a reality show where they like murder, like convicts.
They take out bad guys.
Yeah.
How many people would watch that show though in this culture?
See, I don't know, man. I don't think we're close to that.
You don't?
I don't. Do you think we'll
you know
ever
how
get to that
badly
place
we
again?
cry out for justice?
I don't know.
Because in the film, it was all like, quote, villains, right? It was bad
Yeah.
guys. It was murderers. It was people that deserved the death penalty. And it was getting to watch these people get what they deserved.
If there's something like that going on in the world right now, it's super underground.
Well, yeah.
And we don't know about it.
I'm not saying
but I'm
yes.
saying, like, if the culture was okay with that, then there would be some country that would be doing this on their TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we've been there and done that with the Colosseums.
Yeah.
And the gladiator movement.
Yeah.
And do you think we'll ever get back to that? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, it's interesting. You know who wrote that book? It was originally a book that became a 1987 film that was kind of based on this dystopian future with, you know, all entertainment going awry. Stephen King was the author of that. Yeah,
wow.
Was the author.
Anyways, it's crazy to me that Arnold is 71 years old. That's whoa.
Yeah.
What happened?
Now, somebody said, but we do pay lots of money to watch UFC pay-per-views.
Yeah, but that's different, man. They're not. Nobody's ever died in the octagon.
Wow. Yes.
Somebody's died in the octagon?
Yes, people have died. There
Really?
have been traumatic brain injuries where people have. Yes, dude.
Oh.
Now I have to go look it up.
I don't know, man.
It happened last year.
It wasn't the UFC.
No, but it was still mixed martial arts.
What, like Brazil?
Now I'm going to go get it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Not in the UFC, but in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, but that's a pretty wide.
Portuguese fighter complained that he was feeling ill after losing by TKO at the National Stadium in Dublin, was taken to Beaumont Hospital, where he died.
Ugh.
2014 mixed martial arts. Buto Gailane died in South Africa after complications which occurred after a head injury inflicted during his match. September 2013, Brazilian Leandro Sousa died just before a weigh-in. He died in a sauna as he tried to cut 33 pounds in a week.
I remember that.
So
that was sad.
Yeah. Another fighter in 2013 died in Michigan in an unregulated bout. He had a cardiac arrhythmic disorder, which resulted in a sudden death in the octagon. Do you want me to keep going? There's a
there's
bunch.
There's
quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So people have died, not in the UFC, but in MMA type fights, and so to their
anything
point,
that involves getting punched to the head.
right? And I agree with what you're saying in that it is a sport, a recognized sport, right? Like we've seen brain injuries in the NFL as well. We're not watching in hopes of seeing a death. We're watching a sport,
right?
And that is a huge difference. So
yeah, I never tune in to watch an MMA match where I'm like hoping somebody dies.
Yeah.
And if you are,
yeah, and they wanted to say what I meant to say was, I'm not saying that the UFC is killing people, but we're still paying to watch people beat each other up. So he was saying it's not that far off from watching people fight to watching people die. So.
All right, let's talk about
speaking of our stupid
challenge that's been going on. We talked about it about a week ago. And if you have Facebook or Instagram, you probably have seen this challenge going around. This is where people are in their cars driving and the Drake song In My Feelings comes on.
Yeah.
And the guy driving will jump out of the car while the car is still in motion.
And the passenger films them.
Yeah, and he does this dance that Drake does in his video.
Yeah, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board actually had to come out on record and ask fans to please do not take part in the #InMyFeelings challenge that, as you said, involves somebody jumping out of a moving car and dancing. They said on top of that, drivers should definitely not film said challengers, as that's equally stupid and in violation of pretty much all of the distracted driving laws.
Yeah, Shannon. Shannon and her whole family did it the other day. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, my gosh. Her and her kids all, like, jumped out of the car and did it. I was like, no!
Dude, driver distraction features prominently in the viral challenge, according to the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board. The more obvious risk is the poor decision to hop out of a moving vehicle to dance. Although bad decision-making is not on the list of poor driver behaviors, we have seen a variety of crashes attributable to making poor choices. And you just showed me one today, and I'm going, why are people doing this?
Yeah, this kid in Florida, he jumped out of the car, and he's dancing, and then this car just runs him over. Thank God he's okay.
Yeah,
he just got some scratches. But
this is when we need to go back to our Whiskey Tango Floridas, because seriously, cars moving, passengers filming him. Yeah. Dancing, woo, in a residential. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, why did I watch that again?
He's fine, man.
And then a Volvo's just like, ah! How did
the Volvo not see him?
How did the Volvo not see him? Yes. Like, are they near an intersection?
And the guy was out in the road
Was
for a
he
while.
turning? He was out in the road dancing. And seriously, this car hit him. Oh, man.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
hitting somebody? Oh.
He was trying to jump out of the way, but slipped on a patch of oil and goes down. And then seriously, his top half, boom.
He's lucky that he didn't get paralyzed
He
or
got hit
killed.
by this car. This is probably the stupidest challenge we've seen yet.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people are still doing them. So PSA, guys, do not take part in the stupid Drake driving challenge. That's right. Don't
Yes.
Drake and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
I want to talk about the In Your Feels challenge.
Yeah, go ahead. In Your Feels challenge.
So I think it's kind of old. Like back in the early 2000s, Mac Dre was doing it already. You know what I mean?
He was?
Ghost riding. Mac Dre.
Oh, yeah,
He was
riding the whip.
Yeah, he was ghost riding the whip. These kids don't.
Yep.
They're already behind.
They are.
They're behind. They're behind.
Thank
man.
you.
Thanks, dude.
That's a good thought.
Thanks, dude.
I remember that. Do you remember that? It was called Ghost Riding the Whip, and that's literally what they would do is jump out of the car and, like, rock alongside their car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Here's a cop that's going to do it.
No.
Yep, he's got. I got to see this one. Darn it. This cop gets out.
trips on himself. Okay.
Some of these are pretty funny.
Paul says, how dumb are we as a society where we need a PSA to tell us to please not leave our moving vehicle unattended?
Yep. It's true, man. It's true.
But that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
However, somebody else on the flip side chimed in and said, yeah, but I love Darwinism so much. Nope. No. No, guys.
Yeah. I hope my kids never drive.
Yeah, watching the, like... Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
505-338-3700. Hey, just a reminder, we have a guest tomorrow at 8:10. Tony Dungy going to be on the show.
Really looking forward to this.
Former NFL player.
Yeah.
Historic Super Bowl winning coach. Current NBC sports analyst.
Oh, you okay?
I'm okay. Minor stroke. And he's, I guess, writing children's books with his wife.
Yeah, man, Lauren.
She's going to be on the
Lauren
show.
Dungy. So we're going to have Tony and Lauren Dungy tomorrow. How I don't want to be the ones that ask all the football questions because it's like at that party where you're hanging out and you're like, I want to ask her about
the wife's
football.
going to be
And
like,
she's just going to be like, ugh.
Can we please talk about the children's books?
Here we go. Football question.
Ugh.
Let's not be that. Let's not be them.
Yeah.
We're going to be them.
Right.
Yes. It's Tony Dungy, man. How could you not talk football with Tony Dungy?
That's true. Yeah. I mean, if that was the case, then we should just talk to Lauren. Right? Or maybe Lauren was like, I'm just shy. I would just rather you be there with me.
Mm-hmm.
You're used to doing this stuff and you can lead it. And then he just talks about football the entire time. Yeah, they got a couple children's books out we're going to talk about. So that's coming up tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. All right, here's another crazy story. If you could save some money on your car insurance, but you had to change your gender.
I'm sorry.
No?
Please tell. Oh, gosh. America!
No, this is Canada.
Oh, Canada! North America!
There's a man in Alberta, Canada, who's only been identified as David, and he just changed his gender to female.
I don't like. Okay,
he's a guy.
I'll let you go.
He's a dude,
right?
And he just recently changed his gender to female.
But he didn't do anything about it scientifically. He's literally just changing.
Changed his gender.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
He only did it for one reason: to save money on car insurance.
Okay.
David says they found that they'd save about $840 a year on car insurance by being a woman. So they went for it.
I'm so dumbfounded.
Yeah, apparently it's not that easy, though. Even though you can legally change your gender in Alberta with just a doctor's note, David has to now legitimately live as a woman. At first, David bragged about the process. Quote, I am now a woman. I now pay $840 less for auto insurance. I won. The end.
Oh, my gosh.
But now that the story is getting attention and David's probably a little worried about insurance fraud, they're saying, quote, I didn't legally change my sex solely for cheaper auto insurance, though that was and is a big factor for me.
Gosh, people are...
He's got to live as a woman now.
We talked about this in the 6 o'clock hour. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. Which is why a business is in financial ruin because they're like, here's a good business model that's not actually a good business model. And they tanked all to save a buck. And here, poor David, not poor, here, David.
Yeah.
Wait, what does he go by now? Is David's definitely not.
That's a good question. I mean, David is not very neutral.
I just can't believe. No, you know what? I can believe. I will stop.
Devine?
Okay.
How many times now throughout my life as an adult, there have been many times where you can definitely work the system, you know?
Yeah.
How many of us right now are working the system? Even though it's illegal.
To what? Wait, what do you
I'm
mean?
just saying there's like those little things you could do, like let's say like EBT, you know?
Oh,
a lot of people can lie about how much money they make.
Yeah.
Or maybe I know a couple that got legally separated so they could take advantage of the EBT.
That's awful.
Right.
I mean, that's so funny. You went like hard. I was thinking basics like stealing movies and or pay-per-view UFC fights on the internet so you don't have to pay the, cost to.
I mean, that's seriously like David's doing the same thing. He's like, okay, all I got to do is just change my gender to female and I could save $840 a year.
But now they're going, not so fast, bro. You actually have to live as a woman. So let's see how this plays out. All to save $840 a year.
Yeah. It's not a, I mean, that, when you look at it, I mean, $840 is a lot of money.
But come on, bro. Somebody says about the insurance, I was actually waiting for this to happen. It was bound to happen since society wants to confuse everyone. We should be allowed to identify with what we feel.
With what we feel.
Somebody said, is this the movie I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry? I never saw that.
I didn't either. I heard that was pretty funny, though. Wait, what's the rating on that?
Yeah, because I was just about to say that. No, it's PG-13. It's about a couple dudes who, basically learns he cannot name his children as beneficiaries on his life insurance policy. So he has to take on a domestic partner so that can happen.
Right. That we got into that conversation a while ago about if you could marry your best friend.
I knew people that did that.
Yeah.
Sadly.
There wasn't any.
Faked it just so that they could get the benefits of being, quote, married.
Yeah. Or helping somebody else move over here, that lives across the border. Oh, I'll marry you. So you can be a citizen. Yeah. People do it, man, all the time.
Gosh.
All right. Let's take a break. You guys can chime in. We're live from the Dream Style Remodeling Star 88 Studios. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Star 88 FM. Man, we're almost done. Monday. Guys, how's your Monday going? We'll be right back. Hang out.
Tony Evans. This is a Star 88 Supernova.
The word vain means something that is empty, worthless, without purpose, or waste. God does not like to be called out of his name. And yet much that goes under the name of profanity includes the name God. When you attach God to profanity, you have taken his name in vain. In other words, you have used it void of its content. None of us here likes to be called out of our name. I don't think anybody here wants to. We'll tell people, don't call me out my name. That's not my name. Why not? If you and me, sinful as we are, don't want to be called out of our name, how do you think a perfect God being called out of his name? Folk will call God out of his name after thanking God for this opportunity that God has given them to be in this position.
That was Pastor Tony Evans on a Star 88 Supernova. Matt Chandler reminds us, trying to figure out God is like trying to catch a fish in the Pacific Ocean with an inch of dental floss. Star 88 with a solar flare.
you need, say what you want, darling, please. Say what you please, you are what you choose. Who will it be? You say I'm strong, but I'm weak. Don't need a thing, but I need you right now. You right now. You say I'm strong, but I'm weak. Don't need a thing, but I need you.
Ravi Zacharias says our culture is morally suicidal. Here's Ravi on a Star 88 PowerPoint.
When I was doing my ordination examination after my postgraduate studies in Chicago, I'll never forget, you are not allowed to have any books around you except the Bible. And as I looked at that sheet of paper, the first question said, God is perfect, explain. I put my head in my hands. I said, what on earth? That's like saying define God and give 2 examples. Fortunately, there was just a short space in which to do it, because I think the longer the answer, the greater the possibility of heresy. And I looked at that and I said, I just put one line down. He's the only entity in existence, the reason for whose existence is in himself. All other entities or quantities in existence find the reason for their existence outside of themselves. So in effect, his very existence is uncaused, uncontingent, perfect in his being.
A Star 88 PowerPoint.
What's going on in the news today?
President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, confirmed Saturday a so-called joint defense agreement between the legal teams of Trump and Michael Cohen has ended.
CBS says it's investigating the allegations detailed in a New Yorker magazine article. 6 women claim they were sexually harassed by CEO Les Moonves.
More than 500 buildings have already burned, and another 5,000 are threatened by a wildfire raging in Northern California.
6.4 earthquake hit Indonesia's Lombok Island. Pope Francis has effectively taken the title of Cardinal from Theodore McCarrick.
Tropical storm Jungdari made landfall early Sunday in central Japan.
The Baseball Hall of Fame welcomed their new class to Cooperstown.
The late Carrie Fisher will appear in the next Star Wars movie.
Your credit may still be impacted by that big Equifax data breach.
Cyclist Garrett Thomas crossed the Tour de France finish line as the champion.
Air Force defensive back Bradley Kim announced his sexual orientation on social media.
Mission Impossible Fallout earning more than $61 million.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange may be making plans to live outside the Ecuadorian embassy in London.
Monday morning, filling up coffee cups, waking up Monday. Heaven's sakes, don't be late for work today. We'll help get you through this Monday.
Good morning, everybody. What's happening? How's everybody doing? Almost done. 2 days left of July. That's it. 2 more days, guys. School's about ready to start. A couple weeks away from the kids going back to school. Parents are like, yes. Put them back in school. 505-338-3700 if you'd like to chime in, be a part of the show. You can also hit us up on the live line. Text in. What's that number?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
Dude, this is crazy. All right. So, you know, you were just saying, the world is changing and things are getting crazy out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a guy named Keith. He lives in North Carolina. 3 years ago, his wife, Danielle, cheated on him.
That's awful.
Had an affair with a guy. Well, North Carolina is one of a handful of states that lets people sue over that.
Oh.
It's called alienation of affection. And you can sue someone if they do something to destroy your marriage. So last year, Keith filed a lawsuit against this guy for seducing his wife and ruining his marriage and his life. After the guy found out about the affair, he and Danielle business started tanking, and he said he even developed PTSD. And last week, a judge sided with him and awarded him $8.8 million from this guy. So he sued the guy who was having the affair with his wife. He won $8.8 million.
That's crazy.
The guy's attorney says they're planning to appeal.
What? I mean,
wow.
Man, talk about carrying that bitterness and doing something like that. I can't even, man, I don't even want to get into this conversation.
Let's get into it. Let's just peel it back like an onion, okay? Because
that is awful.
Well, okay. You mean your wife decided to have the affair as well?
Right.
But he's suing this guy for destroying his marriage.
Mm-hmm. And not San Francisco. It was in Minnesota. Francisco is the judge.
Francisco is the guy that the
dude.
The dude.
The other dude.
Yeah.
He was awarded $8.8 million.
Yep. From the dude, Francisco.
So you hear these stories. Like one person chimed in and said, but it's not the other guy's fault. The wife is the one who decided to step out.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you hear those stories, and then on the flip side, like, here's the antithesis of that. Oddly enough, in Minnesota, a Minnesota Christian couple who lost their son and grandchildren in a car crash caused by a truck driver in court this last week forgave the driver and managed to persuade a Nebraska judge to give him only 2 years probation.
Wow.
And 180 days in jail.
Jeez.
Rick, the father, said, quote, "I know how much God has forgiven me. How can I not forgive you?"
Well, how did the accident happen? Was he texting and driving? Was he not paying attention?
In July 2016, Rick lost his son, his daughter-in-law, and his grandchildren, who were 23 months, and 2 months old, when the driver slammed into their car in a car accident, igniting a fire. They had been traveling from Minnesota to Colorado to train for a missionary trip to Japan. Beside the family of 5, a driver in another vehicle also died.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was this dude's fault. Going through, like, all of this, I'm like, how did it happen? The truck driver, it doesn't say whether or not he fell asleep. He was the cause.
You would think it would have to be something like that, because if it was just an accident, it would have to have been something where he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
If he was facing jail time for it, you know?
The grandfather said everybody makes mistakes, and he didn't start out that day planning on killing our children. Still, I struggle to find the words to describe the grief that has gripped me. We asked the court to give the maximum allowable grace.
Wow.
He said he was in no place of authority to extend mercy for the driver. However, I am in a place to request mercy for you.
See, 2 different stories.
Same state.
Same state, but one guy is suing the guy that had the affair with his wife.
And the other ones are going, hey, God has forgiven me of so much, so I am extending forgiveness.
And I know
to
you can't really compare, because one is like, they lost
they're both wrong.
They've lost.
Well, that's the thing. They lost everything.
Yeah. Oof.
He said, we've had plenty of people say, well, you guys have to be super Christians. No, we're just plain people, but we have a super God that has just lifted us up.
Wow.
That is how we can walk this path, and it's because we have hope. The wife said she was really worried about how this was going to go in court because they had prayed about it. They had believed this was the right course of action. But she said, I thought maybe when I saw him, I wouldn't be so forgiving. It was just the opposite, though. It instilled in me more of a desire to be at peace with him. They even hugged him, the driver at the sentence, took a photo with him and his wife. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? I think all of us can think of a time where they could have killed somebody because they weren't paying attention while they were driving, you know, whether it was texting, it was grabbing something on the floor. I remember driving down the highway and wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden I hit a sidewalk.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, what if there was a jogger? What if there was somebody walking their kid?
Yeah.
I could have been the one that killed them. I could have been the one that seriously injured them. Like, they're right. Nobody starts their day thinking that they're going to kill somebody, you know? So I think it's a good reminder, guys. Hey, put your phones down. Pay attention while you're driving. You just never know.
Remember, the Starmy chimed in and said, I can definitely say I'd love to, quote, get back at the person my ex-wife left me for. But what benefit is that really? Like this other story, I don't want to become the man forgiven a massive, impossible-to-pay debt by the king who then goes out and throws someone else in jail for a tiny debt. I must learn forgiveness as long as that may take and as difficult as it may be.
Yeah. That's true.
Man. Tale of two Minnesota stories right there, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what right there, man.
I tell you what, man. I tell you what.
Because don't get me wrong. Definitely understand the husband who's like, I am suing this dude for everything.
Yeah. And
bitter and angry and hate-filled.
Like, think about that. Like, that's the ultimate, like, man. So he just got awarded $8.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
And every part of, like my the sin inside of me is going,
every husband
man.
is like, yeah, man.
Woo!
8.8 ain't enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I bet you cheating doesn't happen very often in North Carolina. You know? I bet you cheating's real low down there. That's insane.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that law? Do you think that you should be able to sue somebody for that? It doesn't seem right. But I know the whole thing isn't right.
The crazy thing is that according to that law, it doesn't even require proof of an extramarital affair. It can just be a claim that this person just caused a rift. They're the reason.
So it could be a family member or like a friend. They caused a rift that destroyed your marriage. You could sue them?
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's called alienation of affections.
I don't know if I like that, man.
Your in-laws, essentially. Like, my in-laws took my spouse away from me. That's a real law, man.
That's crazy.
It's only legal in 6 states.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, there's also a law in New Mexico where women aren't allowed to pump their own gas. So, yeah. Look into that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
505-338-3700 if you'd like to call into the show.
Man. Somebody says, imagine what that grace instills on the opposing person compared to the bitterness of being sued by someone.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the response is grace, seriously.
Yeah.
Versus you are guilty because you immediately go on the defense, right?
Yeah.
Somebody said, my first wife left me for another man. I never really held it against him because I knew who she was. Years later, she left him for yet another man. Shortly after that, he and I ran into each other, and he apologized profusely to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, it's interesting because on one hand, we're looking at the character of man, and on the other story, we're looking at the character of God. Like, we want justice, and we want to burn people down for wronging us. And then you look at the other story, and it's like a story of forgiveness, of God's great love for us. So how can we, in turn, not forgive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared, I was driving down it was just a side road, He wants to know if I was driving down a highway that had a sidewalk.
Mm.
It was like a side road, and I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
So crazy. I mean, I almost killed a guy on a motorcycle once. It wasn't my fault, but, I mean, you just never know. You go out today, you think life's great. Oh, my gosh. Life's perfect. I got a great family. Things are great.
So in case you guys are wondering, because it's like, yeah, but because we've had multiple people chime in and saying, but the difference is like this guy, as they said, didn't set out to like murder a family. The other one's like, hey, you were sleeping around or whatever. Few people chiming in with that.
Yeah, I wonder, though, even if, let's say this guy, what if he didn't know that he was or she was married?
Right. Yeah, there's so much we don't know. There's so many like variables. However, this semi driver was heading through a construction zone speeding and crashed into the back of the minivan carrying the family.
Oh, my gosh.
The impact caused a chain reaction, hitting several cars, including an additional fatality in a car. Like he was driving so fast.
Yeah.
That
just happened to the Myers family.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they were in a truck.
Yeah.
Because it could have been a really bad situation.
Yeah.
Just never know, man.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to drive today. Will you take me home today?
Sure.
You know, maybe I'll run home.
Oh.
How many miles is it to your house?
I
can run 7.
Really?
I can run 7. I could do that. That's got to be farther than 7.
Ask Phoenix for his bike. He rode his bike to work today.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not getting on a bike for a long time. Oh, my butt hurts so bad. Why is it? Why don't they make bike seats comfy?
To get you to your destination faster?
And every time I go for a bike ride, I'm like thinking to myself as I'm in the bike ride, why didn't I stuff an extra shirt down the back of my pants? Like I should have like grabbed
Oh,
toilet
I'm
paper
like,
or something, and like
Yeah.
I could have made it. Yeah, it probably still would hurt though. I don't know. You want some more good news?
Sure.
A guy in Arizona stole an ambulance to avoid having to walk in the heat.
That's not good news. Sorry, when you said good news, I thought you meant good news.
Todd Shell. Oh, Todd Shell. Mesa, Arizona. He was hospitalized on Tuesday with a heat-related issue. The high in Mesa on Tuesday afternoon was 115. When he was discharged, he didn't have a ride home. And considering that he'd just been in the hospital because of the insane heat, well, he didn't want to walk home. That's what put him in the hospital. So he stole an ambulance.
Okay.
The cops quickly tracked him down and pulled him over, and he explained his heat issues. He said he was just going to go buy a sandwich, then head home, and then eventually he was going to return the ambulance. He was arrested.
I can't, dude.
Yeah.
I am no longer shocked by headlines.
Yep.
I am no longer shocked.
Hope the jail's air conditioned, you know what I'm saying?
See, guys, we're just encouraging you and preparing you for life because we should become unshockable because we are all broken humans. Some of us just exercise that stupidity in different ways. And
do you think, though, he
we're
might have
still
been out of his
somehow
mind,
shocked.
though, because of the heat-related issue?
Because it was 115 degrees?
Yeah, and he went to the hospital because of the heat. So do you think that might have done something to his brain? And so then when he was leaving, he's like, oh, I'm just going to steal this ambulance, and then I'll return it when I'm done.
Man.
Just going to stop and get a super tanker of Mountain Dew and a sandwich.
A super tanker?
Yeah, super tanker at the town pump. You know? You ever had one of them super tankers?
No, I have not.
You get that super tanker of Dew. Yeah. You know? Get that Dew Shine.
Dew Shine.
Yeah. Super tanker. It's huge. It's like this big.
Stop it. Stop making things up. It's not a real product.
Mega
guys.
tanker?
The mega
Now,
tanker.
the mega tanker's where it's at.
Okay, stop it.
Get that mega tanker at Town Pump. Oh, and one of them pizza burritos. Give me that fried food at the Town Pump.
Ugh.
That's what I'm talking about.
We need to open a place called the Town Pump.
Yeah, the Town Pump.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody would go there again.
That's
Do you know
right.
that's why they called them pubs?
Really?
Yeah. Because it was the public. Yeah, it was the public place where everybody went for news.
Really?
I'm not being funny.
Huh?
That's real.
Really? You know, in Ireland, bars are in people's homes, like pubs. Do you know that?
Yes.
Pretty
I mean,
crazy.
that's in America too.
People are in their
Places
homes?
like New York City where they have to like stack on top of each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always remember I thought it was weird when we had a video store in town, and you'd go into the video store, but in the back was their home. And so you'd go in and you'd ring the bell, and they'd come out from the back. They were watching the news in the back, just hanging out, living life. But it was just, I always thought it was weird. I'm like, wow, in the front of your house is a video store. That's brilliant.
I mean,
they could just sit there and watch TV all day, and then when somebody walks in, they just have to get up and rent out the movie.
Like to borrow one of these films there for viewing. Can't imagine how long that was in business for.
Years.
Okay.
You know, until it's probably still up and running. Okay. You know, and it's Montana. I don't have internet there. They still ride on horse and carriage.
Okay.
Montana. They don't have cars in Montana. It's crazy. It's a car. All right, we're almost out.
We are.
Don't forget, tomorrow we have NFL legend Tony Dungy.
And his wife, Lauren. Really looking forward to this. They're really good people. Tony Dungy, of course, was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Moved on to the Indianapolis Colts. He is now an analyst on NBC, along with Dan Patrick, Rodney Harrison.
We're going to talk to him about cowboy
combo.
boot sandals.
Nope.
Yep.
That's not
Cowboy
at all.
boot sandals are making a huge comeback.
Nope. Going to talk to him about his children's books that he's written with his bride.
What's your favorite children's book?
Oh, that's not but that's got like a lot of words. When I think children's book, I mean like
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of Where the Wild Things Are.
Mm-hmm.
Maurice Sendak.
Tony Dungy.
Do you hear this?
You hungry, bro?
It's my stomach.
You all right?
Sometimes. Maybe hungry. Maybe just queasy because I'm done, guys.
You done?
I'm done.
All right, we're done. 8:10 tomorrow, Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
Maybe Tam will be back. We haven't seen her in a couple weeks. Quality Tam. She kicks off at 3 today. 3 to 6. All right, thank you so much. You guys can hit us up on YouTube and Facebook. We'll upload the show. If you missed any of it, you can go back, watch the show. Star 88 FM on Facebook and YouTube. We're also on demand through the app. You can download Star 88 right there on your smartphone. We're on iTunes. We're on SoundCloud. You can go to star88.fm. Get us on demand there. You guys have a beautiful day. We'll see you guys mañana.
That's all we got. There ain't no more. That's right. Time is tight. It's the end of the show.
For over 40 years, La Salita Restaurant has been serving New Mexican food to Albuquerque. From starters like soups, salads, and Cindy nachos to entrees like chili rellenos, burrito de Eduardo, the BOG burrito, and carne